We are live.
Sick. Hi, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Hello,
stream.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Happy first day of kindergarten.
Oh my God.
We made it.
God.
We made it, everybody.
I feel so old.
I luckily don't. I was afraid I would feel older. But I'm not actually ancient. You know, my generation, they're having kids much later. I was really worried I was going to walk in that room and be like,
you're ahead of the curve. If you're thinking like, what am I thinking of? It's particularly like LA scheduling. If you live in Southern California, you're having babies when you're like 68. Like everyone out there is the oldest parents you've ever seen in your life.
Well, I'm in the South now. I was expecting more of like a military family kind of vibe, like a lot of, people in their 20s. And I was pretty middle of the road, honestly, in the room.
Military family in the South. I mean, I know we have military bases, but so do most states.
Yeah. I don't know. So the Southern marry your sweetheart kind of, pride thing or something. No, it's
like
pretty.
Actually, it's like my parents were a military family, famously have like 2 anniversaries because they got married so that mom could stay on base with dad as they traveled around, and they didn't end up in Florida until he quit the military. Like, it was a big reason why he quit. He's like, I'm done. I want to be settled in Florida. I'm out of here.
Getting moved around. Yeah, that's the rough part. Also, when you fall in love with the place they moved you to, and then they move you, that seems to be the real kicker that a lot of people go, okay, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah, we've got a cousin whose husband is in Navy or Coast Guard. Either way, they were stationed in Key West for like 3 years and like absolutely loved it. And then like, boop, just off somewhere else. Just like,
yep.
All right, you're done. Get out to Texas. Like,
go.
Like, oh crap! But this is not nearly the island life that we got used to. So, yeah,
it's good. He didn't look back. As the story goes.
Well, so is he? I mean, hell, you want this to be the intro? We got a great show for you today.
We have a great show. Great big show.
We're going to talk about World of Warcraft killing addons. We're going to talk about the Square Enix killing Final Fantasy 14. We're going to talk about Battlefield 6 killing Call of Duty. I added it. You probably missed it over the weekend. I meant to add it. It was a big thing over the weekend. We'll talk about it. Don't worry. We'll get there. I will catch you up.
I'm not down with that. Okay.
We're going to talk about my battle against the greatest boss I've ever fought, which is Japanese hotel booking websites. We're going to talk about Dan to Dan because we apparently both watched it unbeknownst to one another. And then we're going to take some Q&A. But first, it's Kyle's oldest first day of school.
The dad moment. Oh my God. Some of you have been here for the whole thing. If you came from Into the Nexus, when I announced I was having a kid, now I've got 3 of them. And the first one just entered kindergarten. Holy moly.
Yes.
Yeah. They walked confidently and didn't look back, which means you did everything right. And then they're off to their world.
And so he's excited for school.
Oh yeah, no, there's some nerves, like mainly, honestly, just like, am I going to be bored? And I was like, oh man, I hope not. I struggled with that big man. I know. The second he comes,
did he ask you that? And
yeah.
If he did, what was your answer? Like, what'd you tell him?
I said it's going to be really exciting, because it's kindergarten. They bounce you around between a lot of topics. There's still recess and all that sort of badass. You're going to be surrounded by kids your own age. Like it's a crazy thing. We did, stay-at-home parenting. Thank you for the support, everyone. Supporterbromance.com. That allowed me to support Kristen's endeavor in that as well. We got to have a best bud for 5, almost 6 straight years, and now he's off to learn from other kids. Come home saying random shit we don't know exists, and have to Google it and be like, oh, is that what that is? And he's going to ask for games I've never heard of on the weekend now. I'm not in control anymore. It's freaking wild. I'm really excited for it.
That's man, you're beaming. I feel like I'm beaming. I'm so invested in your kids. Like they're adorable. You have a wonderful family, and I actually mean it. It's not just me being polite.
Well, thank you.
Folks, I can tell you from being on the ground floor. For at least 2 years of watching the Ferguson family grow, you guys, you're doing it right. You're doing a lot of damage to my desire to never have children.
I think we're doing pretty good. Yeah, no, I think we're doing all right with our crazy situation. You know, the 2-year-old and the 1-year-old got a lot of attention today, and they're gonna love it. They're gonna flourish, as the as the pediatrics say.
Yeah, before you know it, they will all be used to the fact that school is a thing.
Yep.
Like,
yeah.
Before you know it, it's just gonna be boom. That's just life.
Yeah, as they say, the toughest thing about being the eldest is your parents have never raised a kid before. So, you know, the fact that we did okay, you know, they'll get on the bus and have an older brother with them next time. So it's crazy. I feel I feel a great weight as well as a great sadness at the end of an era, but also like a spark of creativity that I haven't had in a long time as I get to consider, oh, what are my hobbies then? You know, now that I'm not entertaining one more at lunchtime, I can think about something else.
Like 24/7.
I can start to, you know, like imagine things and process new ideas and take in things.
Okay, so at the risk of there being 40 notifications for whatever the answer to this question is, what do you think your hobby's going to be?
First thing I want.
Which way you leaning?
I know this is going to sound seriously canned because so many people say it, but you know I'm good for it. I'm excited to get back to arting. I did a lot of art before my kids were born. I did a lot of drawing. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed painting and stuff like that. So I'm excited to get back to some of that. You know, going to do one of them 100-day challenges for myself. You know, 10 minutes a day. You know, exercises. Just see how it goes. And just creating something. I don't have quite the time for Dungeons and Dragons quite yet, but I am excited to just kind of get back in the creative sphere a little bit. I've been reading again, which kind of gets your brain going like, words in weird orders that I haven't heard before. Whoa.
I have at times daydreamed. I don't think I've ever told you about this. I've at times like just daydreamed about how cool it would be if any of your kids just by happenstance got into D&D, not to force it on them. But, you know, obviously that would bring D&D back into your home on a regular basis. And then I'm like, oh, it'd be so cool if that happened. And then like we had our own campaign going. Yeah. But we had like crossovers with their group.
Like little chaos goblins. Yeah. It'd be great. Yeah. Then you have to team up with the littles. That'd be insane. I'd love that. It's like those episodes of Power Rangers where the old troop meets up with the new troop and it's just completely batshit nuts. No,
Art Stream 1, we could do. I'd be down. I'd be totally down for that. We've been talking about some like an upcoming Patreon-a-thon, maybe subathon. I don't know. At a certain point, it's just like, yeah, you know, but that'd be cool. Doing the collab with Joe earlier this year, like really just like gave me it's what I'm looking for. It gave me longing. It's like it gave me it reignited a lot of longing for art in my life. Like art that isn't thumbnails. I get to use right here, it's within reach. I get to use my Wacom tablet like all the freaking time.
Yeah.
For thumbnails and stuff. And it, you know, it keeps like at least my very basic digital painting skills somewhat honed. But yeah, I haven't sat down like just drawn in a while.
Well, I was thinking, over the weekend I did a little research. I was like, maybe I'll post this stuff. Maybe I'll call it Monster Guy Kyle. And I was like, shit, no, that's a terrible optimization. All it's going to be is energy drinks and guys punching drywall. You know, like no one's going to think this guy likes drawing monsters.
You might hook some people that way. They're just going to be like, I came looking for toxic masculinity. I thought I got one thing, and instead I got a vibe.
I just got a cute little skeleton at the end of the day. I
think that'd be cool, dude. The amount of at some point we probably should, like, honestly, this is not me planning on air. This is just me like talking to my friend on the internet. We should probably rip just solo channels, just like the Garrett channel and the Kyle channel. We have crossovers sometime. It's just where we put whatever doesn't fit on GG.
Yeah,
like whatever. This is just where it goes. Enjoy, deal. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a timer in my head, right? Like I got 4 years until all kids are out of the house, and then I gotta have a plan. You know, one thing I remember coming to my parents saying when I was younger, I was like, "Hey guys, you're gonna need some hobbies real bad when I'm gone." And it might have been a little harsh, but they succeeded. They got hobbies. They became much more interesting people, and I'm really happy for them. They're enjoying their retirement, as it were.
Like, I don't think that's a
It's easy
disrespectful thing to say to your folks.
It's easy to make kids your life, right? And your primary hobby. I totally get that.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish my mom had gotten into video games because I think she would like legitimately love them.
Yeah, I think.
But,
yeah, my dad too. Like he hated losing, so he never wanted to play Life or anything like that, or really sit down for a board game. But I knew he had all those old comic books. I know he would love it. It's just that initial barrier. And
tried playing games with my dad. It didn't work. He couldn't manage the NES.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see what they get up to. I don't know, man. Fortnite is long gone. Who knows what the new hotness is going to be? I would love to be.
Fortnite is still pretty hot. So is Minecraft. Like they won't die.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool, but I'm curious to see what's going to be.
Oh God! Oh God! I want to play Fortnite. Did you see the Power Ranger costumes?
I saw the commercial and it was really good. It was a good commercial.
I didn't see that. A tweet went viral this past weekend. I don't know who put it out because I'm not like aware of the Fortnite. I'm not really aware of Fortnite Twitter. I think our buddy Marco, who I accidentally called Mario during my Pokemon streams. You weren't there for that. Just filling you in, Kyle. I think replied to it. There was a post that went viral that was like a detail shot of like the side of the Fortnite Power Ranger skins because they went for the live. They had details from like the actual live TV show costumes and not how they're normally drawn. Because if you've ever seen like Power Rangers comics, they omit details like the seam where the helmet clearly is like a clamshell and closes.
Right.
They omit the clasp where you lock in the clamshell. And in the Fortnite costumes, they've included those details. And so it was a tweet kind of geeking out about that. Like, hey, whoever made these, like, they're clearly a Power Ranger nerd.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of shit that I geek out over. Like, I love those little details. I just... If I could do my life all over again, I would have spent a lot more time doing cosplay because I've always loved this kind of shit. I was insufferable to my parents growing up with the accuracy of Halloween costumes. Like I really annoyed my parents.
Yeah. There's many pictures of me dressed as a tiger, not smiling because tigers don't know how to smile, as my parents love to tell me.
Oh, you took it you got
to role play,
monster lore
exactly,
route, no one is surprised to hear
tigers
that.
Tigers don't know how to smile. It's true. Yeah, it's
no one's surprised to hear that.
No, all the passage of time, right? Like you played Pokemon while I was out of town, last week, and some people were like, "How did you not just go on to the next game?" And it's like, well, you see, that was 6th grade, and then 7th grade was hell, and you had to update or die.
Did you see my comment? Did you see my reply to that?
No, I didn't. What was
I had to really think about it for a second. Like, okay, I think it was 6th grade when I got into Pokemon. Like, what happened? Oh yeah, like the run up to high school. Like, I got into my first hobby that was my choice that wasn't art or video games, which was playing guitar. I also got my first guitar in 6th or 7th grade, and so I got really into guitar like right after my Pokemon phase. And then also just trying to socially reorganize myself for the impending high school because I had been so bullied in grade school, and I was in like the same school from preschool to 8th grade because it was a Catholic school, so I had the same small class like my whole life, and I was just like a perma loser. Like there was no improving my social status; it was impossible. They had seen too much.
Yeah,
so
I know what you mean.
So it's not that I thought Pokemon was lame. Like I didn't give a shit. Like I got bullied a ton for my interests in grade school, and it just made me like them more. Which probably explains things to chat when they try and tell me how to do things, and I get mad and I say,
malicious compliance. I'm gonna keep playing Pokemon. I'm
gonna do it the wrong way even harder now.
Yeah.
Because it all comes from that. But in the background, I was legitimately like getting into music for the first time, which is like high school. Like I still played games, I still watched nerdy shit, but like my high school arc was like very deeply into music. I got really into punk and the punk scene. And like when I went to my first concert, like all bets were off. Like all I wanted to do was be at live shows. And so I was in St. Pete a lot, as much as my parents would drive me. And then when I got my own driver's license, I was just taking my own ass to shows. So that really got in the way of like Pokemon. And then I got into shooters and shit. That was like my Counter-Strike online days. That was Halo had come out. I only returned to Pokemon for the remake of Fire Red, which like probably was like the earliest instance of like me realizing I had gaming nostalgia.
Well,
which was when that came out.
For me, it was such a note of how different my life would have been if I was just 2 years younger, like 2 more years with Pokemon before it kind of crested that middle school, it's lame kind of hill. Because elementary school, I pretty much remember just doing my own thing nonstop.
I think technically Pokemon was middle school for us.
Yeah, like 6th grade was the height for me. I had played the video game. I had the cards. I was playing at lunchtime every day. And then I changed schools and it was a magic school. I had to adapt, survive.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm still very much on the Pokemon kick. It is my, other than Japan travel, it is my hyperfixation right now. I am watching so much Pokemon content. It's not even funny. We're like 4 episodes deep into the anime, but mostly I've been watching just like Pokemon content creators, which I gotta say look like they're having so much fun compared to MMO content creators. I am jealous.
Interesting.
Maybe it's because I'm sure there's all sorts of drama in the Pokemon sphere. It's probably because I'm new to it.
Yes.
And YouTube is just offering me like the most popular Pokemon videos ever made. Like I watched some guy, something Cliff, and it was like doing everything Pokemon in Japan. And the guy had been invited to Worlds, and I guess Worlds changes locations every year. And so that, I think it was last year, it was in Japan. That video, whoever that guy is, amazing. Go watch it. It is just pure, like unfiltered joy. Purple Cliff, that's it. Yes, I watched that video. It is just unfiltered joy and hype. Like it's wonderful. It just filled me with positive energy. It was a very good time.
Interesting.
So yeah. Anyway, I've been watching a lot of Pokemon content. That's how I've been spending some of my free time.
No, they have a very creative way of continuing their art form. Like I saw a lot of Pokemon because I watched your stream, which means I got Pokemon suggestions, and a lot of what I was getting was let's make our own Pokemon, and wildly successful channels who are just sitting around being like, what if we took a lampshade and a car and made Lampcarion? And they drew it, and then they laughed and they moved on with their life, right? Like that was the content. I was like, oh, that's so fresh. I can't get out of my head. There was this really fun content creator. I won't out him because I don't know him, and I have a problem with psychoanalyzing people. Excuse me. I'm a DM. I get in your head.
I have no comment about that comment.
It was really fun to see at the start, the end of Shadowlands, they started making guide content, and they were super passionate. They were pulling from this wellspring of mythic passion and ideas and noticing that they had. And then I checked them out last month, and they were burned out. They were gone. They were grinded out of the mythic game, and everything had become more pessimistic, and their guides had become more about arguing with a chat that didn't exist in the video yet, rather than that initial spark of joy that caused them to want to make this content for their fellow player. It's interesting. I do wonder how Pokemon fans avoid that, or maybe they just have enough like games a year to keep going. There's
I don't think they do. I mean, Bizarre Joe in chat right now is saying Pokemon community drama is often about saying new games have problems and others screaming at you about being wrong. That is exactly what Final Fantasy XIV drama is about. People saying, I don't like this, and then other people getting really mad that someone said, I don't like this, or vice versa.
Well, sure.
Saying you like this, and people being in your comments mad that you're not mad enough.
Sure. I think
we need goes in both directions.
Yeah, we need to get back the the jail drama. Like I think the company needs to step up and start arresting more people. We really need to crack down on this empire and create our own drama inside the game.
That's actually part of the Final Fantasy XIV problem. They're not putting in any hard content that's hard enough to use add-ons, so they can't ban anyone. So that's actually the problem, bro.
That's the problem.
If they put in an ultimate, if
they release an ultimate,
if 7.3 was an actual real patch with an ultimate, then we would have good drama to pull from. But
that's it.
It's just Alliance Raid, which is easy as crap, and also I didn't think particularly great.
You nailed it.
There's no reason to use illegal mods, so no one's going to get banned. So yeah.
No, there's
anyway, MSQ tomorrow. Let's see if the story's good.
There was a big that is true actually. Let's not go over that too quickly. Yes, I'm a MSQ tomorrow in 2 parts. Please excuse me. It's my eldest's first week back, and I'm going to be there for their end of days. So, it's not Final Fantasy end of days, like the end of the day would pick them up from school. So, we're going to be splitting into 2 parts so that we don't marathon it into the evening, and I miss hearing what my kid's day was about. Anyway, I've had this, we're talking about MMOs today, and I had this article in the back of my head all morning while I was thinking about it. Vice put out an article that was Gen Z is cutting back on video game purchases, really cutting back is the title of their article. And It goes on to say that video game purchases from 18 to 24-year-olds has dropped 13% from January to April. And this is all part of a continuing downswing in their purchasing of video games.
That to me doesn't sound that high.
It comes out to be about 25% less money per week from that demographic in total. So it's a huge amount of money that the video game industry is now missing out on and was expecting to have. Given our 2009 graduation, I'm kind of like, why'd you expect that? That seems like an odd thing.
I mean, the word on the street is that the youngins don't give a shit about the Switch 2, and that was the biggest thing to happen to video games in the first half of this year.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's like not thumb on the scale. It's like finger on the pulse. Like when I talk to young folks, they don't seem to really care. When I listen to other gaming podcasts that talk about that, their younger relatives also just don't seem to care all that much. And at the same time, the Switch 2 sales are breaking all records. But it's just not, it seems like it's not coming from the younger demographic.
Right, which is perhaps really good for MMOs, because if we're dictating the market and we're a bunch of old buddies who want old games, MMOs might have a nice little resurgence here as the various companies go, oh crap, let's make things for the olds. But
I mean, I don't think we're gonna, it depends on what you're worried about. But in general, I don't think we're gonna have to worry too much. As long as we're alive and gainfully employed, I think games that fall into our demographic are going to do okay. I think what we need to worry about is stagnation in the industry, because if there's not a whole new generation of players that enjoy massively multiplayer online role-playing games, there's probably not going to be new titles in that genre. There's not going to be as much competition, which isn't going to breed as much innovation, which isn't going to breed new and exciting things in the space.
But I watched one of those top upcoming MMOs of 2025 winter this last weekend, and it was the same 5 games that were there for the last 10 years. So.
Yeah. And we lost 5 of the 10 games because 5 of them are being made by companies that are owned by Microsoft.
Or they were Kickstarters that were actually scams.
At this point, if Phil Spencer shows up to talk about an upcoming game, we can probably just assume that it's going to get canceled.
But then when I graduated, I did keep my WoW sub going for a while because it was solid investment. It was good bang for my buck. But now if I compare that to something like a free-to-play game on my phone, I don't have to have additional hardware for either. I do wonder if I would have gone that route.
I mean, who knows, right? It's probably nature versus nurture, but what you ended up playing,
Yeah, what language you're accustomed.
We collabed with Joe Cat, and we were playing with a bunch of folks that are at least 10 years younger than us, if not younger, that do enjoy these types of games. So it's not true for everybody. It depends on what you grew up on. Because I look at Fortnite, I look at most shooters as there are times in my year where I enjoy them, but eventually I kind of just shelve it and move on, because I feel like I'm having more or less the same experience over and over again, and things don't change too much with updates. Whereas I see something like an MMO as something that does change drastically enough for my tastes over the course of the year, which is why I keep playing it. But I did play shit like Counter-Strike growing up, which was kind of that same experience, and it changed a hell of a lot less than something like Fortnite does by comparison. So I don't know. Kind of just depends on what you're into.
It's also very easy to look at this chart and see, what is up? Apparel? Wait, sports equipment.
Really struggling to not make a joke here, but let's just go with what is up, dog?
Yes. Basically things you would buy when you're moving in to your own place.
Oh.
It's basically the graduation list, as it were, is what they're buying at the moment. So
People graduate every year.
I know, but it was kind of it was an interesting thing that was kind of in my head, and I've been thinking about MMOs as budget games because of it, and that is so much of why I played them in the first place. Outside of being fortunate enough to have a computer that could run it when I was younger, which sort of steamrolled my experience. If we're talking about like why'd you not play later Pokemon, it's like because the family computer showed up in the house, and it was time for computer games.
Yeah, and there's a whole conversation about shit like Monster Hunter, like that's a major talking point this year about the burden of having something like a system that can actually even run the games.
Oh, yes. I saw
you've got shit like Minecraft and Fortnite, which you've been able people who enjoy them have been able to run it just fine for years, and they're going to be able to continue running these games into the future. And then you have new, like not full on MMO, but still a massively online experience like Monster Hunter. And you really, you either need the latest, greatest console or you need an extremely powerful PC.
The article I saw this morning was more updates to Monster Hunter. Sure wish we could play it on PC. It's ongoing, man. They still haven't fixed that.
I assume if you're writing for a games journalist website, you probably have a PC that can run that game. But for
but everybody cheers, right? Yeah, everyone cheers.
Maybe not. Yeah. Listen, I'm fully in the privileged position of having a PC that can run that game, but like I would like more people to be able to play it. Like I'm not gonna sit here and like style on you like, haha, spend more money, fools. Like, yeah, no, I like more people to play games. It's like I would like games to be optimized, Kyle. Optimize your games, please. I hope I'm going to sit here with a very strong take and say, I, for one, support optimized games.
It's a good ask. And we are on the cusp of the new WoW trailer. So the WoW machine is loud and proud.
That's next Tuesday. We're getting the proper full announcement at Gamescom for World of Warcraft Midnight. We're planning to do a co-stream, right?
Yeah, co-stream of
the Tuesday. Watch Gamescom.
Yeah, the whole Gamescom opener because it's gonna have a bunch of games in it, including the midnight business.
That is the plan for next Tuesday. But yeah. Real quick before we get into it, we had some on topic. Supers Drasoni said, could even have the adult campaign be 100 years in the past. These heroes did X story. Can you tell I have too much time thinking up campaigns?
That's a fun idea. That'd be crazy.
We'll just do a free run campaign with your kids.
How about the adults all have amnesia, and whatever the kids did in the previous adventure is what we remember as adults suddenly, and we have to
would be really fun.
Deal with
me and amnesia, but that sounds fun.
Make it an Onion Knight situation, like the children walk into the cave and whatever the shit happens, but then you're sitting there as an adult being like, I remember. Oh my God, I remember that.
All right. If you want to make notes for that so that we can streamline the process, I'm down to play it.
It's my job as DM to make notes. So yes, if anything, I'd be double dipping. It'd be easier.
And then Blitzkrieg Dragon said being a military brat was how I went from Texas to Oklahoma to Germany. I know the feeling.
Yeah, no, I moved a lot, and I wasn't military growing up, but I knew a lot of kids who did.
Call it Echo. Ooh, it could be an Echo.
Ooh, it could be. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, it could be memories of a place right into your head.
And before it sounds like we're getting into main topics here. So before we get into it, do want to give a shout out to everybody supporting us over on our Patreon. Check it out if you like what Kyle and I are doing at supportourbromance.com. It'll take you directly to our Patreon. We appreciate the support. It'll give you access to things like the Ask the Host channel, which is when we do Q&A later in this very podcast. That's where we pull from. If you support us anywhere on YouTube membership or Patreon, you get access to that regardless of the level that you sign up at. So check it out, supportourbromance.com. And now let's get into this week's just news. It's not just MMOs. It's just kind of the big stuff this week. So we're getting into it.
Good. Oh, great news, everyone. Shove it.
WoW is apparently removing combat add-ons.
Hurrah!
I didn't see any talk of this on social media over the weekend. I was made aware by our own Iprix in the Ask the Host channel that was like, you guys going to talk about this? And I'm like, I didn't hear about any of this.
But
sure enough,
Yeah, it's slowly waking up. Like, this is the machine, right? A lot of people are checked out of most MMOs right now, and WoW is kind of, there's clawing its way into your mind. You're thinking about it again. You're getting nostalgic again. And in one of their interviews, they did say that they were eventually going to be target combat add-ons and trying to remove them, basically not supplying an API to them if possible.
That's essentially, yeah, that's what's going on here. So how can I translate this easily? They're going more of a Final Fantasy 14 route is how I am interpreting this, because you and I now have played enough 14 to, I think, sincerely say it is a game that discourages the use of add-ons for its rating contents, to go as far as to ban players quite publicly and famously after events like Race to World First that were caught using modifications to aid their rating efforts.
Definitely. And it's important to note, if you are on the outside of this topic, any conversation around it begins and ends at they have a console version. So while it might be well and good to have add-ons that could enhance the game's experience, those won't be available for console players. Therefore, the game's just better without them, so everyone's on an even playing field. Plug in a keyboard and mouse into your console.
Yeah, there is no date or deadline for this, by the way.
Yes.
So, we do not know when this is coming for World of Warcraft. How it's going to work, which was like my first question. I'm like, how the hell are you going to do this? The goal is that eventually they'll change it so that World of Warcraft will stop like communicating with combat add-ons. Like, so add-ons that read combat events or most aura focused add-ons. So things like your DBM and most weak aura type add-ons.
The big ones. Yeah. DBM is famous for the, oh my God, get out of the fire, 7 alarm bells, your whole screen is fire on the edges and the player still doesn't move kind of a gameplay function.
Yeah, yeah. It also sounds like they're not going to go as far as something like Final Fantasy 14, because there's a lot of talk in this announcement about building in official in-game replacements for a lot of what people are going to add-ons for, including damage meters and audio cues.
Sure.
So it sounds like they want to have some sort of customizable audio cue if that's something you want, which is something that that's like a primary reason that folks use DBM for. The thing that they seem to be targeting, and, they're maybe not going to try and have an in-game solution for, are things that you and I don't have personal experience with. We were not rating when add-ons reached a point where they could drop markers to tell you where to go, or divvy up a party and assign roles for specific fights, which Ian Hazzikostas and other World of Warcraft developers have talked about. Like, they are aware that those existed, and it forced them, they feel it guided them into a direction on designing fights, that they were like, all right, well, we've allowed mods for, like, I'm summarizing here. It feels like that they were like, okay, well, these exist and we've allowed mods, so we're going to have to make fights that much harder to compensate for the fact that mods have this capability. And it seems like they want to get away from that.
Right. This was at a fever pitch during End of Shadowlands, when you essentially had, very cool, I love the theme of it, but Race to World First with hackers on the side, programming the add-on as fast as they could and be like, upload this to the Dropbox, everyone install. And they're like, nope, that's not it. Adjust the parameters. And then, freaking Seth Green makes all the lights green, and, they get away with the heist.
Wait, Seth Green?
Yeah. An Italian job.
Why? Oh, okay. So you're making a specific reference.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, Seth Green was never a WoW dev as far as
No, he was an Italian job.
Okay.
I thought that it's a cool idea. Like in terms of like Ready Player One gamer movie, awesome drama. So cool. You have a man on the inside hacking, but it'll be exciting to see Race to World First in a new light, given the lack of add-ons that they will be using, and in particular this extra barrier to even entering it in the first place, which also means it costs less money.
If this even ends up happening, I could see a world. I've been through enough big announcements from Blizzard. I've seen enough of those get walked back because of player pushback to say, like, I'm not 100% convinced this will actually end up going through.
I mean, but if it just happens for Race to the World first, that'd be pretty cool. And if nothing else, they do need to de-escalate. They have an arms race.
I think they do too. Like, I agree with this. Like, a lot of the, like, if you want to, okay, exiting reporting on the official word from WoW devs,
sure,
and entering personal take territory, I much prefer the way 14 does it. Like, some of this is probably biased from the fact that I had stopped raiding in World of Warcraft by the time we got this level of sophistication in add-ons. And even if I had kept raiding, I probably wouldn't have been raiding at the difficulty level where we would have needed this. Like, I probably would have stopped at, just normal mode or the next hardest. I wouldn't have been going to like the hardest difficulty level. So, like, this doesn't currently affect me, and I don't think it hypothetically would have affected me if I hadn't been so disappointed by Shadowlands that I had continued raiding.
Right. There was just unpleasurable mechanics we had to make macros for in BC raiding era, but they were by no means the extremes of even what I saw out of Deadly Boss mods when I did Battle for Azeroth. I turned off most of them because it was just so overwhelming. Even dealing with Mother, who was like a 3-room fight in sort of a trap room setting, the number of bells and whistles that would go off, it was not the game I wanted to play. So I had to work extra hard to have the experience I wanted by turning off half the add-ons. They're still useful.
Yeah. I mean, hell, dude, even in 14, like, I don't like how it looks with like every marker possible down on the ground. I think it's very visually busy. And the way that they do like their colors for markers, like, they're so bright and almost look neon lit that I honestly do find them a bit difficult to visually parse. However, I've tried a lot of these Savage fights without them, and I do find them easier with the markers at the end of the day.
Yes,
so
they're important tools.
I personally want them there, even though I think they're visually ugly. But, what are you going to do? Like, at a certain point, like, I remember installing DBM for the first time and being like, runaway little girl, this is stupid. I don't like, I knew what fight that came from, and it legitimately confused me for a while. But I eventually had it for so long that I customized it, and it was customizable enough that you can make the sound basically whatever the shit you wanted, and also adjust when and how you heard it. And then there were also fights where it didn't matter. Like, I don't know, like, a lot of times that when people think about the EBM and they think about the runaway little girl toast, it's because you're standing in something you shouldn't be standing in. There's also fights where that wouldn't help you, because if you're standing in something you shouldn't stand in, it would kill you too fast. So,
and that was originally from Karazhan, where something actually chased you and you had to run away. So the fact that became the auto bell was just weird. It's personal. It was nostalgic. Yeah, you could turn on any bell you wanted.
It bothers you and me. It probably doesn't bother a lot of other players. Your mileage will vary. But yeah, it's fine. So yeah, I like, my bias is that this sounds great. I'm already, like, when I do play World of Warcraft, I'm at a point, I am at the lowest number of add-ons that I have ever used in World of Warcraft. And that, I started on a trajectory long before I started playing Final Fantasy XIV. I think it's easy to kind of draw a comparison between the two. They're both very popular MMOs. Hell, just in our Discord, there's a lot of folks that play both, just from our little sample size of our community. But I started knocking off mods long before I started playing Final Fantasy XIV. And I was sick of the bloat. I was sick of having to use third-party tools to keep them up to date, because I just found it easier than updating them myself manually. So also, World of Warcraft has made a lot of improvements to its just base UI. You have a lot more customizability now than we ever did back in the day, to the point where I don't even really feel like I need Bartender anymore. Although I think I ended up going back to it for WoW Classic when we were playing hardcore, because I was just used to it. It's funny that part of my not even nostalgia, just my history with World of Warcraft and my memory of playing WoW in certain states throughout its life are also tied to very specific add-ons that I was using at the time, like Bagnon, like Bartender, like, whatever damage meter. I actually don't remember what damage meter I was using back in the day, but you get the idea.
Oh, I mean, the same thing with me and Healbot, right? Like, ask me to use Click or Grid. Like, no, it's not happening. I learned to play that game with Healbot by shift holding mouse click, control holding mouse click, and that's just how that game works. Like, what, I'm gonna tab between multiple people. I'm gonna set my F keys on players. No, you use your mouse, and that's how the game is played. I do find it interesting that they're gonna leave damage meters, like, because there's an obvious choice that they made, and I think that's healthy for WoW. I think they just continue to let people know their damage.
They've over the course of history, they've updated how they even communicate with damage meter add-ons. So,
but now they're saying they're going to add their own. Like, you're going to have a built-in damage meter.
Yes, that I'm happy to hear that, because to me, like, there's a larger conversation to be had about toxicity in gaming and how damage meters can breed additional toxicity. I like them because they're a learning tool.
Well, they're interesting because in World of Warcraft, because you have so much room for self-expression, caveat. We'll get to that in a few minutes.
I think it's more important in WoW than it is in 14, but I still think finding damage numbers any way you can in Final Fantasy 14 will help you improve if that's something you want to do.
Yes.
I also think you're a jerk if you use damage numbers to belittle the performance of other players.
Absolutely. But you are, like, in a game where you can pick talents, when you can sacrifice a button for a passive, damage meters are that much more interesting, that much more crunchy, that much more motivating, because if you are a different minded player than the perfect dance and you want to go about things in a different way, there is wiggle room you can do to replace that need for performance. I saw a quote that is in my head a lot recently, that Final Fantasy XIV is skill requirement and not skill expression. And that's certainly true when you get to Savage. You will do their dance or you will die. And
I absolutely feel that.
With 7, yes, well, there's 2 of us. With 6 of our best friends, like, it's a good time. Like, you all are collectively agreeing that that is what you're there to do. But it is a very, very different kind of game in that way. And this is also coming at the time when the game director, Morgan Day, just put out that there is overwhelmingly positive feedback regarding the 1-button rotation. And that's fascinating. I kind of love the idea. In particular, I saw a commenter that was like, I can finally watch the boss and not my rotation. Oh, well, that does sound nice, doesn't it?
I have not dived deep enough into this to have an opinion. I am so grumpy on this. This sounds like the most boring thing in the world. Like, why play the game if this is how you want to play?
Well, because it's what's holding you back from playing that content, right? So there are 2 different modes. It's important to note that 1-button rotation also has an assisted highlight rotation, where it's going to suggest, just like when you crit or proc, using a certain button as the next one. And that will hopefully guide you to play better by following the light up buttons, by DDRing your fingers to whatever's lighting up, by playing dancer, if you will. You could increase your DPS. And in general...
Dancer, yeah, there's a deeper conversation here where I think most jobs in 14 have massive button bloat, even after they've tried to pare it down a bit. But dancer, I think, is an example of a job that does it really well, because when you go and do your actual dance, it replaces buttons that you only have access to when you need to have access to them, which I think is really, what's the word I'm looking for?
I think it's very smart. I think it's very satisfying. I think it's very fluid.
I'm blanking on the word I actually want to use here, but yeah.
Well,
the fact that, like, most tanks have like a 1-2-3 single target and a 1-2-3 AoE, and you should always go from 1 into the second attack into the third attack because of a combo mechanic. I'm like, at a certain point, I do find this a bit boring, and it could probably be reduced to 1 button.
And we've seen some of that design come in things like, Viper.
Intuitive.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you, Dark Nix.
There
I
you
think
go.
it's really intuitive where a lot of other jobs are not.
Well, it's important to first make the note that this one button rotation is performing better than 90% of players. 90% of players perform better when they have one button to press over.
That's
and over
not
again.
news. We knew that already. We've
Yes.
already had a laugh about this on the program.
Yes, I know. But I'm just saying, like, the fact that it is now out and people are enjoying it because they get to mechanically interact with the boss is a very interesting note. Now, of course, there's toxicity tied to this. There are raids that have been cited that you showed up, your damage is lower than the 10%. Turn on one button, please, if you want to keep raiding with us. Now, at least they said you get to keep raiding if you turn on the one button. No one's saying you're kicked from the group because you'll never improve. You can actually improve by a large margin today by pressing that button.
These conversations I find difficult to have because it's like not everyone's going to have that experience. I'm sure there's still a-holes out there who are like, get out, just out. People's patience varies, people's attitude varies. But anyway, sorry. Continue with your thought.
But they also have a rather interesting list of numbers that we can see now as to what classes are benefiting the most from this. So some jobs, like let's take, for instance, here, Feral Druid is losing 25% of its DPS by doing one button because of the variances, because of the decisions to make, because of the procs, the things that it can't account for. You are losing massive amounts of damage. But you look at something like Beastmaster Hunter, 2% unassisted, 14% on one button. Demonology Warlock, you're only losing 10% of your DPS by doing one button. Which, if this is comparing you to the maximum amount of perfect play DPS you could possibly have.
Like, to me, that now I'm fascinated in this because what a interesting new problem the developers have created for themselves. Because now this exists. Now players are aware of this information. Now there's a single page on a WoW fan site where you can go and see this information, which I would assume is going to cause players to complain and ask for improvements to the one button rotation of the classes that are losing more damage than the rest.
I mean, it's you take that risk. It is. We all knew that initially there was going to be a longer global cooldown should you use this in the first place. That was the initial buy-in. I am willing to suck more in order to have my job be made easier. But now we know that some jobs just can't account for that. And in particular here, it's worth noting that across the board, not recommended is on every single healer because healing in those games, World of Warcraft, is a improvised activity. Even in Final Fantasy XIV, they'd have to like program the one button to be like, at exactly 30 seconds, the boss is going to AoE. So like you would have to like pre-program every single boss fight because it is a unique rotational experience for a healer.
And also, just honestly, I feel like something like this one button rotation would be so much easier to implement in something like Final Fantasy XIV, where every job is identical. Whereas in World of Warcraft, you have so much variance. You have so much variance from class to class, from spec to spec, and then from talents to talents, because you can talent out every spec of every class quite uniquely. Now, a vast majority of players play on meta and usually use some sort of talent build that is popular and proven, but that doesn't mean everyone is, and you need to account for that in your one-button rotation. And I don't know how much it does account for that, and even if it does try to account for it, how successful is it in accounting for it? If there's this much difference in damage when using the single-button option, it seems like it could be more successful.
Now, some of this is like Frost Mage here has multiple numbers on it because if you're going to go one button, you should probably give it all the passives it can because ultimately it's going to be trying to work through your rotation and those improvised bonus buttons aren't going to trigger. Like one button rotation will not give you blinks, sprints, heroic leaps. It'll not use your major offensive cooldowns that buff you or turn you into a healing form or anything like that. Defensive abilities for tanks don't get triggered. Trinkets, potions, those sort of things in your inventory never go off. Like, there are plenty of ways to make this way more complicated, even with the addition of the one button rotation.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, and to clarify, I don't mean every job in 14 is the same. I mean every Dragoon is the same as every Dragoon. Every Summoner is the same as every Summoner. Looks like most people in chat understood that, but just in case.
I took it a little different, so I'm glad you clarified, because, you know, we're all doing the mechanics. It's something that WoW's design has been striving for over the past few years, to really include everybody. And we're not just talking like running balls to the machine to plug it in.
That's not what I meant at all. And also, I don't agree with that. It depends from fight to fight. Because you get like a large majority of difficult fights in Final Fantasy 14 have everyone doing more or less the same mechanics, but it's not always the case, which is part of the reason I love this current Savage tier so much. There's a lot more variance from job to job on what you need to be doing mechanically in every fight.
Oh, sure.
That's why I like M6S so much.
I'm clarifying the extreme, which was in BC raiding. You know, we're talking forever ago, but it's so much of my experience. Kristen was a rogue, and she had fights where she was like, I guess I'll shoot a gun, because the boss had a flame aura, and it was just no rogues allowed for X amount of time. And those sort of mechanics were very interesting. And when you had
that kind of happened. Yeah.
If you had the cornucopia of 8 bosses over the course of a night, it was fine if you sat out one. But Final Fantasy gives you a serving of 4 bosses and one's going to take your whole night. So it better be interesting.
Yeah, it's not really, that kind of complicates the conversation. It's not really what we're talking about right now.
Well, then treat it. Then get us back on topic. You addressed chat in the first place. Where do you want to go?
I wasn't going to talk about single button rotation in the first place, here we are.
It's an important aspect of damage meters, right? Happening over there right now, and I think it is a very interesting tool, and I would love it. Honestly, I think the variance of being like, I'm arcane maging tonight. Can you play that? No, sounds delightful, and I would enjoy having many of my rotations reduced down to one button for the pure fun of it. It sounds delightful, particularly from like a learning perspective of let's get in there, let's see what the boss is doing. You know, so many times you hear something like, MMO players can't even find north. Well, we're also dealing with the rotation and the cooldowns and the buttons, and you know, that sounds really nice. And if Gen Z's not playing, then, you know, maybe we should help ourselves out a little bit.
Yep. Proof that the MMO player base is rapidly aging.
Is that we want one button.
Need a one button rotation.
Yeah, and one quote that's been thrown around too is that it's a lot of fun. Like, getting to stare at the boss the entire time has made it a more enjoyable experience for many.
I agree with that. Back when I used to like run with 2 different raid groups and I was hunter on one and tank on the other, I loved my hunter nights because I wasn't staring at dragon nuts the entire night. I was like, oh shit, this fight is beautiful. So I get where that's coming from. And from a learning perspective, I don't know, maybe I would like it. We should just get max in WoW and try a freaking raid and try one button rotation. It doesn't take that long. Hell, we could buy a boost at this point. We should honestly try this for no other reason, just to actually have firsthand experience.
15. What have we got? Is it
I'm 100% in the hater column though. I'm like, what's the point? Like, why? I don't get it. Why would you want this?
Well, I think that's all going to come down to different player types, right? Like for me, a lot of it's about improvisation, and that's why I love healing. So the idea of jumping on a DPS is just a pile of hard, busy work I don't want to do. So to me, this could open up thank you so much, Carzonassi.
Just cat
ass,
audience.
Right.
Kyle just got cat butthole right in his face.
It happens. But you know, that would open up a wide amount of the game to me. So I'm very, very curious about this, and I hope that information can lead to unique class designs, something like we saw in Viper. I thought that was a very cool idea in Final Fantasy 14, with the buttons transforming into other buttons to try to reduce that bloat. There's so many things to manage on top of that.
It's really funny thinking about Viper, because Viper's so
busy.
Visually busy.
Yeah, and there's so much extra stuff you're managing anyway. It's like, I have to manage this now. I didn't even want to manage this in the first place. So
I don't know. Qatar got in on the conversation. Thanks for the super. There's a UI section of the 14 official forums that is way less toxic than the general section. 14 has added some of my suggestions from there. Oh, that's got to be cool to see. In terms of weighing toxic, I have consumed way too much drama. If you haven't been able to tell, Kyle, because I read this Qatar and I go, you can't measure toxicity. Some people think being positive is toxic. Like no one's going to agree on how you measure toxicity.
It's a range. It's a range with the choices, the nebulousness, with the talents and all that. You do have a baseline of toxicity in World of Warcraft. My own personal take, after multiple years now, is that there is a baseline of toxicity in World of Warcraft that is standard, and that can be very shocking. Coming from another game or just trying to penetrate it to get involved.
I think if you raid in Final Fantasy 14, like we've been there long enough that I would say it is no different.
And that's the. And
I don't think I think 14 is just as toxic as World of Warcraft if you're doing difficult content.
And that's, I think, one of the magical things about 14 is you have so many kind people who accept why they're there and what they're there to do and loving it, while you also have the other side of the extreme. And because it's so easy to dissect what you're seeing because it's all the same. You can't say, oh, I'm running a different talent build. You can't have these small little protections. The amount of toxicity you receive when getting into harder content is going to be a lot stronger, because why aren't you doing the right thing? And there is no personal choice in that way. And it's a different game in that regard.
Yeah, people Party Finder Savage. Yeah, people absolutely do Party Finder Savage. I only have like half of an experience with it. Like my first reclear on this current Savage tier, we filled the majority of the spots in Party Finder, which eventually ended in a disband. Which I understand is just kind of par for the course. I didn't personally find it all that off-putting, but that's also because like I spent years of my life doing pickup groups in World of Warcraft where the same thing happened, and I've been called every name under the sun. And I'm just kind of used to it. I show up kind of bracing for that experience. So when it happens, I'm not really surprised or particularly offended. What I found gross about my Savage rating experience on a personal level were people showing up at my DMs or finding people in our Discord talking shit about our performance when I didn't ask them to and they weren't on our team. That's what I found toxic about, like my very personal experience. But everyone's thickness of skin is different, or even what you just personally find annoying might be specifically different from one player to the next.
Well, some of that just comes down to like, look at this abomination of an AI. Like that's yours. You're the one who put it together. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks about it. I don't think I've ever seen a UI compliment given in any MMO, except for maybe when someone's map was first round for the first time. It had like an arcane glyph around it. I was like, what's that on? That's beautiful. I've never seen anything so beautiful in my life.
Yeah. So everyone's mileage is different.
However,
yes.
So ends my flattery of World of Warcraft, because they messed up. What the hell is this? This is shit.
What are you talking about?
The housing is now part of early access when you buy the $90 edition.
Oh, that is so forced.
Dude,
come on.
no, it's bullshit.
You don't actually give a shit.
They had on their roadmap that housing was going to come out before the expansion's release. And it does technically come out before the expansion. There were videos, Garrett, hundreds of videos made of people being like, if housing's coming in this expansion, what do they have hidden in the next? That's like their biggest feature. There's no way they're going to put that out early. They're going to say that, oh my God, Midnight has the biggest surprise hidden in for it forever. It's going to be the biggest deal ever. There's something bigger than housing.
Just like random hype that I'm fairly certain you weren't buying into.
No, but
I cast doubt on this entire reaction.
I do think it's bullshit, though. I am unsurprised, and that makes me a little sad. But also, that is bullshit that you put it on your roadmap, and then it's just part of.
You like have for years now gotten access to all kinds of next expansion features early if you pre-order the next expansion. And it's included with the lowest price, like the base, I just want the expansion, which like I don't care. If you play an MMO, you tend to buy the next expansion. This is about the barest possible minimum bar to clear to get access to housing early. And if it makes you mad, I'm sorry, I see it as performative.
Oh,
this is recreational outrage. Oh no, you have to buy the next expansion, which you are probably going to buy anyway because that's how MMO players exist.
I apologize that one button add-on sent you to the moon, and this is too much for you. But it's gonna be okay. You're gonna get
Because I
that
like
housing.
playing video games. I install a video game to play the video game. I'm so sorry.
That was kind of bullshit, though, that they put it on their roadmap that it was coming out before midnight, and it is technically coming out before midnight.
I've been heartbroken by so many roadmaps at this point that I'm just like, I'm frankly surprised anyone still makes them, because all it does is set expectations and
I wouldn't make them.
Make more players angry. We have actually made roadmaps for our streams. So again, I'm not even casting doubt. I'm going to tell you, you actually have made roadmaps. Sir.
I know. I'm in control of not even you, but myself. Like I at least 50% of my promise can be kept when I make those things. And it is true. It is all pre-orders. It is all pre-orders that get into the housing and all that. But
yeah. What I'm seeing a comment go by saying it's for Epic Edition. That is categorically false. That is not. It is for every version. Any pre-order of any version of this expansion gets you access. Like, congratulations! You need to keep an active sub to have housing in Final Fantasy XIV. So, like, what are we all mad about?
Next story. Next story.
Square's MMO's gross sales are down by 23% year over year, according to a translated post. So this comes from Audrey, also known as Itaiki Mochi on Twitter, translating a Square Enix shareholder post from user @use_. And this was all over my very 14 biased Twitter feed this weekend, Kyle, with everyone on Earth quote retweeting it with their take on why MMO gross sales are down for Square Enix in their Q1 2025 financial report.
Okay.
So Audrey translated a post from a shareholder on Twitter. I don't know much about the shareholder. They've tweeted in the past about financial reports. They tweeted about this. It got translated from Japanese to English, but it has at least given us a window into how MMO sales are doing for Square, which is down, which I immediately like raised an eyebrow out. I'm like, year over year, year over year is comparing a point in time to a previous point in time. So in this case, we're comparing Q1 2025 to Q1 2024. So some people are using this to be alarmist about, like, a lot of people are using this to back up whatever narrative they want to push. If you think 14's doing bad, a lot of people are pointing to this and going, look, it's proof. It's proof that Dawn Trail's a bad expansion. They're down. Sensically, I would expect sales of Dawn Trail or any 14 product to be down this year because there's no new 14 box product to sell.
Right.
Dawn Trail has been out for a year now. Q1 of 2024 would have been like the heyday of pre-orders for 14's new expansion. That doesn't exist this year. So to me, that makes sense that sales are down. Like the first quarter of last year would have been like the height of expansion hype.
Right. That's why I'm recovering, but I'm confused. So
I was also confused when I first saw it because like the first thing I saw was like, yeah, I knew Dawn Trail was bad, and then I was like, okay, oh, this does seem a bit bad, and then I'm like, well, hold on a second.
Yeah, hold on.
Honestly, they just kind kind of seems like sales would be down kind of regardless of quality.
But we are able to deduce from this that there is that it says the MMO division with Final Fantasy XIV in particular is being cited as one of the primary reasons that the company is losing money, which we already knew because the company makes a lot of their money off the MMO. So if the MMO is not doing well, then the company's not doing well.
Yep.
But how do you like what would you do during this time period to make it better? Release, a Realm Reborn Classic? Like, what are you going to do to make sales happen during a normal expansion during this part of the cycle? Like,
that may be an earnest question they're asking themselves. I don't know. It's there's no confirmation that is a question they're asking themselves, but I wouldn't be surprised that like if this is a concern for them, that's probably something they should figure out.
Yeah, did the cat not sell well enough? Is that what's going on here? Like, it's a nice
There's
cat.
no way like store cosmetic sales are going to stack up to brand new expansion sales. That is just an unrealistic ask.
Yeah. And then you got your offerings here, but I mean, they're not. Nothing really blew anybody away in my book. We got Final Fantasy 16 on additional consoles. The Dragon Quest remakes. I'm not really sure how many Final Fantasy 7 remakes we are deep, but that's on Switch 2, but that's not the original.
We're too deep.
I'm not even sure I know what Romancing Saba is. Where's that G that gave up halfway through the foot?
I believe that's a saga title.
And there's 7, the Revenge of the 7.
But again, that's the Switch 2 edition. And you're over scrutinizing this one slide a bit too much, I think.
Okay, well, yeah, if obviously, we could make this number worse if the sales for everything else was better, and then Final Fantasy was also down. That could make Final Fantasy look even worse by comparison because it would be even a smaller part of their percentile. So I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here. I'm trying to dissect this image from Joey Insider. Which I love. I love the idea of like a mole on the inside, like someone who's on the board just to spread the word to the public.
It looks like they have very official screenshots of slides here. So I'm assuming it was perfectly fine to share this information in the first place.
Yeah,
and this is typically how we get information out of the earnings calls as far as Square Enix is concerned.
So has there ever been a Final Fantasy 14 expansion that sold better later in its life? I guess maybe Endwalker could have.
I bet post Shadowbringers there was probably, I would have to imagine, had probably the strongest.
Yeah, you probably
later
had some
sales.
You probably had some word of mouth magic going on there too, because the WoW Exodus and Shadowbringers came out. It was I didn't even see the trailer when it released.
It's also required to play Endwalker, and so like even leading into the Endwalker hype, I would assume.
Oh yeah, you would have
the WoW Exodus, that big boom of new 14 players that happened from the late Shadowbringers experience into Endwalker. I don't have the numbers in front of me, and I don't know where to go to find them. But
Stormblood sales were up due to people buying Endwalker, but they're like, oh shit, everybody loves Stormblood so much, let's make another one. And
oh my god, Kyle.
And they tricked themselves, that's what they did. They looked at the stats.
Oh my god, no one's gonna get that that's a joke, but you should tweet that. You should freaking tweet that.
They saw the numbers. They saw the numbers.
Because Stormblood wasn't included in the free trial yet. It is now.
Exactly.
But when the mass exodus happened, it wasn't included. So the sales of Stormblood probably did go up.
So good during that time period.
Oh my god, dude. They learned the wrong lessons. They just made another Stormblood.
Yep.
I like Stormblood.
I know, but Shadowbringers was after it. So you know what? We got that every other expansion magic. Let's go.
God. I quite liked the end of Stormblood. I really liked the end of the 0.3 Stormblood patch, and I have a sinking suspicion I'm gonna leave Dawn Trail kind of the same way. Like Stormblood, I thought the majority of the MSQ was kind of weak. I thought it stuck the landing. It definitely stuck its 0.3 landing. I feel the same way about Dawn Trail. Stormblood saved it for me, and mostly in the 0.3 and in all of its raid content. I thought the raid content in Stormblood was really strong. And legit, I feel the same way about Dawn Trail. I thought the MSQ was pretty weak. I would say I like the end of its 0.0 release probably more than the end of the 0.0 Stormblood. And then we're not going to play 7.3 until tomorrow. So I'll report back next week. But
Yeah,
I am really cruising for Dawn Trail is right up there with Stormblood for me.
Sure.
So not my favorite of all time, but something that I still found a lot of enjoyment in, particularly in the patch content.
No,
Because I really enjoyed 7 too.
And I know a lot of hardcores that are just sitting to see it completed. In fact, I know a lot of people doing the exact same thing with WoW right now. They're saying, "Hey, is this full story out?" No, it's time gated right now. We don't have the full story.
No, no. They just came out with another big patch, so
Yeah.
it'll be a little bit before we have the entire story out of this new ethereal patch, which I do want to go check out. If you want to join me, Kyle, I think I'm gonna dust off my old Horde main. I'm just gonna go hard on my Blood Elf Pally.
That sounds fun.
It's just that's who I think of as my WoW character now. So I think I just need to get my ass back in that seat.
I'm terrible at questing. That's my issue. I move at a snail's pace.
Do you want to move faster?
No, not really. I like my snail's pace.
Oh, okay.
I like the way I do things.
Then you're not terrible. Then you're questing exactly how you want to quest.
True,
which
but
is,
it's not
how
optimized.
You should play the game.
It's not.
Well,
This is a fascinating. It's fascinating. I'm still kind of going over it here in the background, but I don't know how an MMO doesn't look like this. Like, this doesn't seem doomy gloomy. It just seems like.
I don't think it does either.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I don't think it's disingenuous to say that Dawn Trail is not a popular expansion. I think I think that's a genuine take, and I do think it's true. I think it's not setting a lot of people's world on fire. I was expecting that, but you can call it cope. But like, how do you follow up an actual ending, like an actual ending that actually stuck the landing? Like, this is more or less what I wanted them to do from a narrative aspect, which is lower the stakes, intentionally lower the stakes. I have plenty of personal notes where I think they still could have lowered the stakes and told a better story, but overall, I still like what they did. So, like, I don't know. I'm trying to, like, we've talked about this ad nauseum. I'm trying not to repeat myself.
No,
and I'm trying to get through this thought with brevity.
Yeah, it's a like, this is always a catalyst for just like a new Jurassic Park coming out. You're gonna go, didn't that last one suck? Oh, I remember the original.
But
hell yeah,
it made money.
It did make a lot of money, and that's kind of
money.
the big difference in that particular regard when it comes to Jurassic Park or many other movies that.
Yeah. And now I'm reading comments that say stakes are not the problem. Dawn Trail was just told terribly. I am trying to not get into this conversation right now. We have gotten into this conversation a million times.
I understand how every little bit of Dawn Trail news can be a catalyst for rehaving that conversation, because ultimately it's a really freaking fun conversation to have. It's really fun to look at something you love and go,
can be a fun conversation.
How can
there are people that make it a exceedingly unfun conversation.
But how would I do this different? You know, like, even I finished a fabulous book this weekend, Mistborn. I highly recommend it. Go read it. Super fun. Even I had notes. I loved it. But even then I was like, I would change a few things.
Yeah, I would always change a few things. There are very few works of fiction that I don't have notes on. Actually, real quick off the dome, what do you think is like a perfect story? What work of fiction is just perfect?
I grew up. That's the hard part. I grew up.
I disagree with that, and I don't mean to dogpile you for
something I didn't do. What happened?
And just not having a lot of free time. But now you're.
I'm not even referencing that.
The fact that you haven't consumed a lot of modern media might be part of this.
Sure. No, I am in full understanding that, like, I will think something is complete trash and then I'll go watch an isekai. Like, there's a
That's
reason.
not even what I'm saying. I'm just saying you just have, like, there's just a lot of modern fiction you just haven't consumed.
No, but I'm also adding on top of it. Now, I understand your point, and I'm adding to it that like when
sorry, chat's saying that Garrett disagrees that Kyle grew up. I also disagree with that.
you walk into a library and there's a reason why the books are named thriller, science fiction. It's because whatever bullshit you're into, you're going to be more forgiving of and probably buy more of that stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because like the things that pop off the top of my head are older. Like I would say Jaws. Jaws is a perfect movie, a perfect script that was perfectly cast. I have no notes about how to make that movie.
Aliens.
Like
Aliens is mine.
Yeah, Alien and Aliens. The first two Aliens. Perfect. No notes. I wouldn't do a single thing different. Except maybe cut 3 frames off of the jump scare alien in the.
We both agree on that one.
We both agree that it holds on that shot just a hair too long.
A little too long.
That's it, though. Yeah. We're talking about 0.00001% of that movie. Back to the Future. Yeah, I would give Back to the Future as a perfect film. I would even argue a damn near perfect trilogy. I know a lot of people would fight me on that. I actually really enjoy the Back to the Future trilogy. Modern day, I would cite Breaking Bad. Like, I really just have no notes for that entire series. I think it pretty much is pitch perfect and sticks the landing. Well, and I can't think of many other modern movies that I would say are near perfect.
Well, and video games are so different because you have just so much content to go through. Like I remember parts, it's a distant memory because I don't remember what it was about, but I remember walking into one hallway fighting the Red Dawn or something like that in Mass Effect 2, and I had to shoot one more freaking dude with his teeth out, and I was just like, come on. Really? I'm so sick of seeing these guys. Do I really have to do this again?
I love these kind of conversations because stuff like this happens. Azuriel commented, you guys have never watched Silicon Valley? Just because we didn't currently mention something that's good does not mean we didn't watch it. I have seen Silicon Valley. It just didn't come to mind. And it's pretty much a perfect comedy.
I have not seen it. So yeah, that would hold, you can hold that against me.
I think you would enjoy Silicon Valley. I think that would pass a lot of your checks. Anyway. I digress. Did you have an answer for things you think are perfect?
Alien 2 was mine. You agreed so immediately. I think you osmosis it into your own choice.
Probably.
Because we agree so heavily on that. Anytime Garrett and I start to disagree, I just bring up Aliens 2 and we just kind of, and like the Zen flows in the room. We're all good.
Yep. Yeah. So, yeah, man, I don't know. To me, this is just the life. This is just the direction of an MMO. This is just the ebb and flow of an MMO. I think, there's a lot of other nuances to this. We have talked about a lot in recent videos, in recent podcasts. I'm not going to get into them now. There's absolutely 100% room for improvement in Final Fantasy 14. But like, I also think I've also found a lot of fun with this expansion. So yeah, I don't know. Nothing about this shocks me.
No, if anything, I'm struggling to even see any shock value in it outside of, but like I said, I think you gotta throw more people in jail. You just gotta be more dramatic. You gotta make some news.
It might the only thing, the only real thing bordering on a take I guess I have is that when we went to Media Tour, we were given a slideshow, and one of the things was the game just keeps growing, and it showed like the player count leading up to Endwalker, and made mention of the fact that is rare for an MMO, which is true. But I remember even in the moment being like, there is no universe where it stays on this course.
Yeah.
Because and it wasn't even, and this isn't me saying that because we were there to demo Dawn Trail that I played it and was like, it's over. No, not at all. I literally was just at the time operating off of the knowledge of my experience of Endwalker. I'm like, dude, that is such a freaking ending. It is such a freaking ending. You and I were talking off air last week about that Quentin Tarantino Toy Story 3 quote, where he talks about it was such a perfect ending. I'm never going to watch Toy Story 4. I'm sure it's a lovely movie. I don't care.
It is lovely.
I think a raging shit ton of Final Fantasy 14 players had that experience with Endwalker. And they're not in the comments because why would they keep watching Final Fantasy 14 content? Why would they keep reading the Final Fantasy 14 subreddit? Why would they keep visiting the Final Fantasy 14 official forums if they're no longer playing the game? The thing I feel like no one's talking about, because everyone who's currently involved in the Final Fantasy 14 ecosystem, they're all just fighting on whether Dawn Trail is good, bad, or passable. But they're all playing the game, or they quit playing the game after playing Dawn Trail, and that's how they're fighting. What no one really has a conversation about is the players who probably just left because they were satisfied and they were done with the story. That is probably, I would imagine, a decent percentage of the players no longer playing this game that no one is talking about. And it's perfectly fair and it's perfectly valid. And I don't know. I get it. You probably can't argue about it. You can't make a juicy thumbnail about it. Just probably why no one brings it up.
Well, and the gameplay variance is also a factor here. I feel like you can't make a game that is such a graphic novel and then also sell them Savage on the back end. There's no urgency to play Final Fantasy Dawn Trail in that regard. Unless you love MMOs and you want to continue to inhabit that body, that second life you kind of have going on. That's why I think housing gets brought up so much in these conversations, because people want to keep living in that world, but they feel unfree to change that about themselves. Because it's so very, very natural to just ebb and flow between hobbies.
Common Kyle W.
I like many things.
I'll give you your W.
Thank you.
I'll bestow it upon you.
Next up.
We need to shop me onto a Lord of the Rings character. And it says, you have my W. Like, and we can just play it anytime. Anytime I agree with you.
Perfect.
It'll be wonderful. Just like some other little mentions. Battlefield 6 appears to be off to a very strong start, Kyle.
Yeah, is that
people I never knew touched shooters in their lives are outing themselves all up in my social media feed.
Yeah, is this
I saw so many people talking about how good Battlefield 6 is this weekend.
This is pure outsider talk. Is it just like there's nothing else to play, or is there some special sauce here?
I really don't know. I think it's just it was in, I think, alpha or beta. It was, I believe, invite only. I had no way to check it out personally. Oh, it was beta. It was the beta weekend, but I still believe it was invite only. And even with it being invite only, it broke Steam Call of Duty records.
Damn.
The most concurrent players Call of Duty has had on Steam is 491K. Battlefield 6 beta weekend broke 500K concurrent players. So I know that I know passively, I know that the last Battlefield was not well received. It was largely considered a flop, and for reasons that I don't know, I'm not that tapped into the shooter community. I enjoy shooters, but it's very much just something like I go and enjoy. I don't read up on the meta. I don't follow the esports. I don't read subreddits. I go through maybe 2 to 3 months of being very into COD every year, and then I uninstall the world's biggest game installation ever to save valuable hard drive space.
Yeah.
And I move on with my life. That is my relationship with military shooters. I play COD usually 3 months out of the year, and I'm done. I get it out of my system. But people seem to just really be enjoying the gameplay of Battlefield 6. With all shooters, I'm sure it comes down to the way the shooting feels, the way your character moves. I've seen a lot of people talking about just like the vehicles feel right, the vehicles feel fun. It's a massive just shake up after years and years and years of the same COD type combat. If you play Call of Duty, that just, I don't know. To me, the vibe I'm getting, it feels like coming home. It feels like what Battlefield players want from a Battlefield title.
Yeah, because that is my defining feature of a Battlefield game is vehicles. That's what makes it special. And if I don't get to drive random shit, why am I not playing something else? It seems like there's I've watched some gameplay. It seems like there's some really good but bizarre balancing. Like the rocket launcher does really good vehicle damage, but in order to counter that, it does really bad humanoid damage. So you'll shoot a rocket launcher into 3 people and nothing happens. And well, I could see how that's balanced so that the vehicles can be taken out, but it does make for a rather lame experience. The physics, though, with the buildings collapsing and the ragdolling along with the sounds, it's kind of a Helldivers comedy level thing, because you'll just have a dude come screaming by you after an explosion, ragdolling all over the world. Looks fun.
One of my college roommates was really into it, and I would just sit there like eating my dollar store Totino's pizza, watching him put, I think it was C4 plastique on vehicles and then wait for people to get in them.
Oh yeah,
before detonating. That was always good for a laugh. But but yeah, I never really got into a Battlefield myself. Was it 3 that had like a really, like they were trying to compete with COD for their campaign? I remember playing through it and thinking it was a surprisingly good FPS campaign. I think it was BF3. But we're talking like back in like 2011, I think I played that.
The only one I played was 1942, and that soundtrack. Bum 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 bum. Midway Man. Oh, it's so freaking good. Oh, that was good. Good times.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good shit. It was good shit. But yeah. FF, thanks for the super. Ever heard of the FPS Heretic or its sequel Hexen? No.
Oh, I've heard of Hexen. Yeah, I've heard of them. Well regarded games for sure.
This looks like a Doom-like?
Yeah.
Oh, but I'm seeing hands and swords in frame. This looks like something you would play.
There's a new one of those coming out soon that looked all right.
There's always a new one.
I know, but yeah, I always get hopeful, man. You know,
that's why the mushroom one, I was just like, I don't need another one of these.
Maravar. Yeah, dude, that shit is a special place in my heart. We got an update from the previous week's news. MasterCard has asked Riot to watch their chat.
Well, like moderate it?
Yeah. So MasterCard is one of the longest running sponsors of League of Legends.
What, they don't want people being
bad
rude
mouthing?
in there?
Yeah, bad mouthing MasterCard. So
Riot, no, that's not what I thought at all.
Riot has been cracking down on live stream chat who disses MasterCard. So if you're in a Valorant stream and you're talking smack about MasterCard, you're gonna get yourself banned for 24 hours.
Oh my God, talk more shit about MasterCard. They should eat shit. This is ridiculous. What a bunch of douchebags.
So freaking funny.
That's great.
It's so middle school like. They're talking bad about me out there. Yeah. I think you'll be okay.
Especially when you think about the actual vile, hateful shit that gets typed in anything around Riot Games chats, and they're just like, racism, homophobia, that's fine. Don't let anyone badmouth MasterCard.
But make sure it's not about MasterCard here. We need to be careful with that kind of thing. Oh my
God. Wow. Yep. They're not beating the "it's our fault" allegations.
No, and
they're not beating those allegations anytime soon.
And there's plenty of articles about the various companies that are pushing back against it. So it's
hey, MasterCard, there's a thing called consequences, and you are receiving them.
Yep.
Yeah, must be tough. It's so hard to be a multi-billion-dollar organization. You will find my sympathy next to my interest in single button rotation.
Sad stuff.
Yep. Oh, so tough to be them. You want to talk about our lives?
Oh yeah. Let's talk about what we're playing.
All right. What have you been playing? I haven't played anything that hasn't been a part of a stream.
Well, sadly, I beat quote unquote He's Coming, and I forgot it was early access. The final level's not out. So.
Is the whole game just innuendo?
No matter how hard I beat it, he didn't come, and it sucked. The final message was, "Please await the Demon Lands in an upcoming update," and I have to go back to He's Coming when they're ready for me. And that sucks. It was such a fun game. I wish I could keep playing it, but for now I gotta put it on the shelf. Really fun indie game. I highly recommend everyone check out He's Coming. But they do not have the final level available for me. So in that free time, I finished Mistborn book 1, and I watched K-pop Demon Hunters, which was freaking amazing. Actually,
it looks amazing.
It was a seamless musical, and
I refuse to pay Netflix.
Yeah, it was not cheap to watch K-pop Demon Hunter, $17.99, with a free upgrade to $24.99 because I didn't have an account. So I got that going for me.
Yeah. If you want it in any resolution above potato, they really ream you.
But I got that free upgrade for a month, so I've got an anime subscription service now because they actually have a lot on there. They
do. I desperately we are in the death throes of me and Katie having not been to Japan. We are 3 months out from us going to Japan for the first time, and I have told Katie that there is no way in hell I am visiting Japan without her having seen Evangelion.
Oh, yeah.
Like this must happen.
If nothing else, so she can understand the statues that
and
are all
it
around.
isn't streaming anywhere except
Oh,
Netflix.
I can give you my discs if you want.
Yeah,
I know
DVDs,
I
at
know
the very
they're
least, I
gonna-
would like Blu-rays.
Just watch them on a get that 1080p screen out of your office and just watch it on that. I'll be fine. Get a smaller screen.
There's not a 4K physical release of Evangelion.
That's
it doesn't
weird.
exist unless you want those like redone
Yeah.
feature length ones that Netflix commissioned, which I am entirely uninterested in.
Yeah, they're
So
fine.
what I want to do is watch the original run 4:3 black bars on the side, and then I want to watch the end of Evangelion, which for me would be the first time. I have never seen it. I have only seen the original run once. My roommate in college had the box set. I watched it. I got horribly depressed.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
How
I
it goes.
loved every minute of it. It was a formative moment in my life. But I've never seen the movie. I've never seen what it was considered by many to be the actual ending, I guess, is my understanding of the end of Evangelion.
So they do have Evangelion on Netflix then? The original, or is it the weird one?
I think it's the original series,
'Cause
and then also all of like the recut,
the
feature
weird-
length,
yeah.
redone versions and all that.
We put
But,
computer graphics on top of the robots and gave the angel extra
Yeah.
arms for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah. So
well,
that's my issue with Netflix, right?
Dude, it was worth it. Like I know it's popular to hate on old Netflix, but like in terms of like buying a
They've
movie
done
ticket,
it to themselves.
I know, but in terms of buying a movie ticket, K-pop Demon Hunters was totally worth it. I thought it was a series.
Okay.
I thought I was in for like 10 episodes, but it was a movie.
Oh, it's a
And-
movie. I thought it was a series.
I
too.
know. I thought so too. But just the way it's like
Oh.
talked about and referenced, and there's so many like shorts and clips being made of it. I thought there was a lot of content. But it was just a 100-minute movie, and it was a musical.
I mean, that's a decent amount of content,
And it flowed in between itself. Like, it's popular to hate on Frozen, but Frozen 2 and all these different modern musicals have a lot of kind of pop music in them. And this worked really freaking well. Like, it was just a really good musical. And when they sang, even though it was on stage, it made sense for the story. And the action was sick. It was Spider-Verse.
Speaking of musicals, I'm assuming you haven't made it through Sinners.
No, because I want to watch that in one sitting. This we did over the course of 3 nights.
Okay.
I don't want to get halfway through Dusk Till Dawn and then have a baby cry. That would drive me insane. Because I've heard Sinners is like a false movie start.
It's not.
So the
It's not.
the
It's
idea,
not.
but the idea of not doing it in
That's
one
a
sitting.
That's like critic audience score split, like just people who don't like movies. That's I think a way to look at it.
Could
Sure.
be.
If you hate cinema, I think that's a take. But no, the whole movie is a cohesive package. It's just that if you're just there for vampires, yeah, you're going to be waiting a bit.
And maybe I am. I don't know. But it's like we kept starting and baby would cry. So we would, but K-pop Demon Hunters was poppy. It was wholesome. It was easy to get into. Honestly, it was a shit ton of fun. Just the characterizations they did with the animation, the Spider-Man team, into the Spider-Verse. There is a final moment where they go full frame rate, and you're just like, oh my God. And like the whole movie's that really kind of chunky, frame rate movement. And when that goes off, it's incredible. The songs are so simple, like Let It Go level of simple, that by verse 2, you're already singing along because you don't really need to know that many words. Except for the things that are in Korean. I don't know those words, but they were sweet. And it was a freaking good time.
I've been having the issue of not knowing the words because last night I finished Dan to Dan season 1 and started Dan to Dan season 2, and downgrade of the goddamn century on the intro song. So for the last 12 hours, I've just been because I don't know the words. It's in Japanese.
Wait, so wait, you do like the new song or you don't like the new song?
I don't like the new song. The original intro is amazeballs. And the season 2 intro is like fine.
I thought
Like,
every
they
single.
exist.
I need a better example because you're just going to automatically hate Attack on Titan. But every Attack on Titan intro I freaking hated. And then like 2 days later, I was like, oh, never mind. I was wrong. So I wonder if it'll grow on me. But yeah, initial reaction was, not as good. It ain't as good.
Yeah,
Some of them never recovered.
Yeah, like you can go the other direction, like Death Note. Like the original intro is great. And then that second intro hits, and you're like, holy shit, this is the greatest thing ever. But because they started with the one that doesn't go as hard, I loved it. And by the time they switched over, I was like, okay, this is an escalation. This is a like, to me, it's a straight de-escalation in energy and genre. And I don't care for it.
I like how it just kind of picked up in the middle of it, though. There was no waiting around.
Well, okay, so that's the thing. I'm really glad that I took a billion years to get through season 1 of Dan to Dan. Because what the actual fuck was that ending of season 1? That was not an ending. They literally just stopped an episode in the middle of everything.
Yeah, someone was drawing the next frame and they said, and that's the pencils down, please. And everyone's like, really?
Yeah. Do they animate like an episode of Chopped? Like, are there judges saying knives down? Like what
it's better
the
than
last couple of years. I have, for the first time in my life, been watching current season anime, and I have been struggling with it. However, I don't think I've ever seen a worse season 1 finale in my life than Dan to Dan. Like, it is just straight up half an episode. Like, there's no they don't even like end. It literally just cuts to black and then credits roll.
Listen, we haven't played Expedition 33 yet, but just, for those who come after, man, it's not for you. It was for when it's in one big box and no one knows if they're on season 2 or not. And they just keep watching.
Well, that's how we grew up with anime, because it came so late to the States. But now we have multiple options of streaming and simulcasting.
Yeah.
And you won. I'm watching freaking subtitles, Kyle.
Oh,
why
good.
am I not getting more sympathy from you?
Oh, I didn't know that part. Congratulations. Is there a reason for that, or is it just not done in English yet? Is it not being simulcasted?
It was my only option when we started watching Chainsaw Man. And Katie wanted to set Delicious and Dungeon on fire because she found the elf lady so annoying in English. So we been watching more and more anime in Japanese.
Well,
there's still some exceptions, like Spy Family. We started watching in English, and we just adore the English.
That's the voice you have in your head.
We watch it in English. But yeah, most new anime that we're picking up, we are watching in Japanese. So.
How's that going for you?
It's mostly fine. I still don't like how much attention I have to pay. Like if I get even slightly distracted, like to pet a dog because they're being adorable, I'm like constantly rewinding. But I will concede that I do prefer certain anime in Japanese.
You're saying that English is almost like an MMO played with a single button. Like you can pay more attention to the boss and the art, and there's like you're able to interact more with what you're doing.
Yes, go fuck yourself. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, if I really like it, I'm going to watch it multiple times. I absolutely agree. You're going to miss shit.
You don't even play World of Warcraft, so I don't even know where you're coming from with this time.
Because I find it interesting. I find it interesting as all. But no, I do plan to watch things multiple times if I like it, because I miss shit, and oftentimes I do have to pause and be like, what the hell just happened? Who said what? And particularly if there's like editor notes or like this translator, or this is actually a joke, it's actually a pun, and you're like, oh my god, there's so many words on screen, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, all of it depends, and then like sometimes it's just I think the dub is bad and I prefer the sub, or vice versa. Like, what the hell did I watch? It was just I watched something. We talked about it. I watched something and it was just too fast. I just couldn't goddamn keep up, and I can't remember what it is now. It might have been Spy Family. I think we tried Spy Family in Japanese, and like the dialogue is just too quick to be in my opinion, to be. I think it was Spy Family. Might have been something else. Anyway, but then you have shit like Chainsaw Man, where both are kind of incredible. The Japanese cast is great and perfect, and honestly, so is the English dub. because I put on Chainsaw Man a lot just for background noise. I adore Chainsaw Man, and I just like having it on. It's like my, I'm going to be here for 3 hours folding clothes, like background noise.
I just think it's neat. Yeah.
I have rewatched Chainsaw Man probably 4 or 5 times, and I think 2 of the original watch was in Japanese. I've rewatched it a second time in Japanese, and then through major laundry folding or packing escapades, I've rewatched it at least 3 times in English. So it's just good, man. They just did a good job. So when Lloyd starts overthinking in Spy Family, he is impossible to understand in any language. I'm not sure I agree with that in English, but I'm sure I can see where you're going.
That's the Sherlock Holmes moment. Like that's the comedy of it, is that he's going so fast, right? I don't concern myself with that if I misread it.
Yeah.
Though I do think subtitles, and I hope subtitles get more like a good joke, like a good short. You gotta cover the words. You can't put all the words on the screen at the same time. Make sure you're actually pacing it out with the information.
Of delivery is important.
Well, and don't,
but you can get some of that just with inflection, even if you don't understand the language.
Right. Yeah. And particularly if they, if they say the topic first because of the sentence structure, then just put it all on screen. Because I already know you're talking about that guy. The big reveal is that the evil enemy is arrived, and if you say his name first in your sentence structure, it's going to be right there.
Yeah. But woe is me. It's hard to watch anime week to week aside. How do you enjoy Dan to Dan? Katie, I really like it. I can't believe Katie likes it. I'm very surprised.
Interesting. Yeah, we love it because it's sensical. They get into fights and have relationship pressure, but nobody lets it go on for too long, and it's just kind of cute. So
that's part of what I like about it is the crush, the crush that is at the core of the 2 main characters who are clearly crushing on each other and are not emotionally mature enough to admit it. To me is super relatable. Like I can get really, really, really mad very quickly at anything bordering on a misunderstanding. But I think it's a really well written version of young romance.
Yeah, it does have a tough first sell. Because I love to skip to the end of the first episode anytime I check out anything.
I do not know that, but that is gross and unsurprising.
And that first boss battle, the look he has when he's transformed, like all of it was kind of like, I don't know about this, but it's like I stopped reading the manga. Like that's how much I enjoyed it. I just didn't even want to. I didn't want to skip it.
Of what?
Dan to Dan.
Oh, Dan to Dan.
Because oftentimes the first season will end of a thing I love. I start reading it. I go, ooh. And then I keep reading it because I'm like, the anime is not going to be that good. They'll never match this level. There's too much information on screen. This is its preferred medium.
Or if you're a Chainsaw Man fan, they just will never make any more.
Or they'll just never make more of it. Yeah.
They'll just tell you, well, everybody loved that.
That's it. It's
Fuck
over.
you, I guess.
Yeah. Like I really liked Kaiju number 8. I forget the number at the moment.
I believe it was Kaiju number 8. I haven't seen it.
The animation wasn't so amazing that I stopped reading the manga, but Dan to Dan has just really solid, gooey, stretchy animation. That's just freaking fun to see. And it's my preferred medium for it.
I do know we're getting a Chainsaw Man movie. However, are you aware, chat, that it's been like 3 goddamn years? I'm not going to be kind about it.
Yeah.
I'm happy it's coming, but I'm mad that it took this long and there's no news about any more series after it.
And, like after Spy Family and Jujutsu Kaisen, like my movie sense is kind of like, oh, come on. Like, make your money. Just tell me when it's over.
I'm super grumpy just about the speed with which anything comes out these days. Because it is not, my understanding, because I'm new to watching anime as it comes out, my understanding this has always kind of just been the problem. Sometimes you just never get another season. Sometimes they wait 4 years for some stupid reason. But this is just now happening with everything, dude. Like sometimes we just wait 3 years. I mean, the Stranger Things kids are 49 years old now for this final season.
Are they doing another season?
The final season's part 1 starts this fall.
My God, really? Wow.
And it's been, 3 years since the Vecna season?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that was like 3 or 4 years from the mall season.
If are they using it dynamically? Are the kids aging, or are they like trying to pass it off?
They're like, I can't speak for this new one because I just kind of don't give a shit anymore. I'm sure I'll watch it eventually because at one point in my life, Stranger Things made me feel something that resembles joy. But that last season with Vecna, they were trying so hard to make them still look like kids, and they're so clearly college-aged adults. Like, it's just, oh man, it was like watching an SNL skit where they're dressing up a 40-year-old man who clearly rides the subway to the studio as Charlie Brown.
Yeah,
that's what it looked like.
Yeah, my kids have been watching Power Rangers, and that actually did trick me as a kid. Like I saw, the Blue Ranger, everybody was like, yeah, high school. That's what high schoolers look like.
Yeah.
These kids are learning the pain of what we used to go through, and your favorite manga got adapted by Madhouse. Amazing first season and then nothing, says Finkelberries. Am I the kid here? Am I the person that's learning? Because I feel like I am the kid in this analogy.
The bidding, the bidding wars that can happen when they're, auctioning off a property to studios is pretty rough. I honestly, K-pop Demon Hunter is completely unrelated, but I loved the medium that the manga of Solo Leveling was told in. I'm gonna go watch that now. Yes. Yeah, man, that was good. And they're making some hot shit. I know people have been talking about K-pop Demon Hunters to us. You should watch it. Absolutely. Like it is.
I'm sure I would like it. I've seen a ton of clips just on social media. It looks beautiful. And yeah, they're like to us talking Dan to Dan, thing I didn't mention. Like obviously I like the romance. I like the powers and just like the fiction is fun. The animation is gorgeous. There's definitely episodes that have more budget than others.
Sure.
But they do a lot of forced perspective and like drawn fisheye effects that you just simply don't need to do. Like the final episode of season 1. Yeah, okay, it's half of an episode and that makes me angry, but there's just a scene where Momo is sitting on a couch and for some reason the camera is like at foot level and she's just got her knees together. And so like the legs, like, and it's not even like being sexy.
Yeah, no, it's just like stretched
you might
out.
be thinking from they're like just knees together, like right in frame. They're so big in frame compared to the characters that are interacting, and it's just like I love it. Like they put in effort that they don't need to put in. There's in the very first episode, there's a shot of like I think it's Momo picking up a magazine. And like just the hand reaching down and just the angle they decided to like draw it and animate it at is just like, God, like I love it. I love seeing artistry.
It reminds me of the old like Steamboat Willie. Like, why is everyone bouncing? I don't know. The artist was just mad bored. Like Dan to Dan artists just every 5 seconds are like, yeah, I'm changing it up. I'm freaking sick of this.
Yeah.
This
and
angle
that's why
sucks.
I'm surprised. That's why I'm really surprised Katie's enjoying it. Because like I have tried to get her through my favorite anime of all time multiple times, which is Fully Cooley. And she's like, this is complete nonsense. I cannot.
It's also
I cannot get into this.
It's very slow. Furikuri. It's a mood piece.
What? They're literally ripping an android out of a kid's forehead by the end of the first episode.
When you skip through the 5, scenes of her smoking a cigarette on the bridge.
22 minutes, you Gen Z iPad baby.
I'm saying,
what are you doing? What are you talking about?
I didn't say. I said mood piece. That's not a negative thing. I love Furikuri.
I have never heard anyone on earth describe Fully Cooley as slow.
It is.
It's 6 episodes. They're 22 minutes, and something gets ripped out of someone's forehead after 5 minutes of animation jazz.
But I love even Gil in the end. But the same thing happens. Like I don't need to hear the cicadas again. The train ding dings. Like I know I'm in Japan. We don't need to set dress this. I know the summer's hot because the world is ending. Like
I'm coining the term iPad adult right now. I'm coining it now. I need it to just quickly let you know that I'm at my wit's end.
A mood piece is a beautiful thing. Like like lo-fi music. I didn't say it was boring.
I don't think a Fully Cooley is slow.
But it's purposefully slow.
To me, it's one of the most like quick paced anime out there. Because again, it's only 6 damn episodes.
I mean, the jokes are, they flow, but there are, just some scenes of him just standing there watching his dad rub his chin on the lady's back, like it's just an odd show. Like, that's the point.
I mean, it's like calling comedies. Like, I guess I don't think of comedy bits as slow.
There's not, I mean, in terms of like what's happening of importance, but because then you followed up with a huge moment of explosiveness, like you find dad's mummified body and you run it out into the bath.
Yeah, I just think that's an insane take. I don't mean it to be disrespectful.
No.
I mean, I don't know how else to express my reaction other than to call that a completely insane anime take.
That is the point of the show. That's how you get pacing. You vary it, and
like I would call Free Ren slow. I wouldn't call Fooly Cooly slow.
Well, so you're conflating the idea of boring with slow. And that's not the case, because in order to
I'm not. I don't think you're calling it boring. I think maybe you're dipping into it a bit, but I don't think that's at the core of what you're saying.
In order to prime an audience for comedy, you have to slow things down, and that's what makes it explosively funny. Like the South Park scene in Furikuri. Like, that is so off the rails. It makes no sense. It should be a completely normal conversation, but we're flashing back to him getting his hair cut with his eyebrows in a South Park like animation style, and that shock makes it funny.
There's still a pace. You're now abandoning the conversation of pace, which is, I think, the core of this conversation. And I'm like, that's not that. The pacing of that is quick, and it's not integral to the core plot, but it's still surprising and get you on to the next idea.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I don't know. I disagree that Fooly Cooly is slow.
I'll come up with another word and I'll get back to you later.
Would you say Dan to Dan is fast? Because I think they are paced very similarly.
Well, there's more information being exchanged in Dan to Dan than Furikuri. There's not a lot of important lore I need to be digesting during moments of downtime before.
I mean, Fooly Cooly straight up doesn't explain itself until the second to last episode.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't get the lore of Fooly Cooly until
honestly, the first time I heard Smooth Brain, I thought it was a Fooly Cooly reference.
Huh? I hadn't thought about that. I guess someone literally sent me that Italian Greyhound video, so I already had a visual to go with the Smooth Brain joke. So I didn't think about Fooly Cooly, but I can totally understand how you would end up there.
And I liked it because it was a chaser. I watched it right after Evangelion, and so I was like, "Oh, there's more, but it's happier. Oh my god, I can watch it. Let's get this out of my brain. Run it over with irons."
Huh? Okay. Well, we're not going to agree. And this conversation isn't going anywhere new.
No. And in private, I think we would have the conversation would naturally come to an end of like, I disagree. But it is interesting that, Chad is also taking it as an insult. But I don't think slowness is an insult.
I don't think you necessarily mean it as an insult, but in an episode where you also kind of stumbled into, I just want to get to the vampires in something like From Dusk Till Dawn or Sinners. I think you're giving off a bit slow equals boring energy.
No, that's reverence. Like I have heard so much, and I want to have such a good Sinners experience that I don't feel like it would be enjoyed as much in multiple pieces.
Okay, at the risk of being boring, I'm going to explain why I was trying to get us back on the rails of my point of explaining why I'm surprised that Katie likes Dan to Dan.
Okay,
because she thinks Fooly Cooly is too goddamn fast paced. I think Fooly Cooly is fast paced, as now established by our previous conversation, and you took it off into a conversation about what is fast and what is slow pace, which wasn't even the point I was trying to get across. But yeah, I think Dan to Dan is paced very similar to Fooly Cooly. I think its humor tracks in a very similar toilet sexual humor way that Fully Cooley does.
Sure.
And so I was a bit surprised that Katie, like after episode 1, I turned to her, I was like, hey, how you feel about Danny? And she's like, I like it. It's weird. I'm like, cool. And we kept going. However, I'm now realizing that I was also surprised that she liked Chainsaw Man. And maybe that was just, maybe Katie has finally consumed enough anime that the more zany, outlandish shows
I think that
are going to be less of like abrasive.
that tracks for like a horror movie fan. I think that tracks for a horror movie fan. Katie likes horror movies a lot.
How so?
Well, you have these explosive moments of gore and extremeness as opposed to like Becky, I can't believe the test is this weekend kind of thing.
Oh, maybe.
But that balances out.
Honestly, her favorite horror movies are probably a bit more on the slow side, or just like gory but not funny.
She does enjoy a horror comedy, but that's not like her favorite. I'm definitely the horror comedy fan between the two of us. Which, by the way, let's just full on segue. I saw Weapons over the weekend, which is the new horror darling of the year.
Oh, that was the one you told. Wait, no. You said something else that was.
This is the one that originally made headlines because, oh my God, I'm blanking. Who did get out? Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele missed out on the bidding of and apparently fired some people who were in charge of getting this script in the bidding war.
Okay. Right.
When it originally made headlines, I perked up because it's the same director as Barbarian, which is
that's the one you told me to go see.
Whatever year Barbarian came out, that was 2022. That was my favorite horror movie of that year. Barbarian is very good, and definitely benefits from not knowing what the hell is going to happen going into it. But it's the same director, Zach Krieger, who some people might know from the cult classic sketch comedy show, The Whitest Kids You Know. So sketch comedy actor turned horror movie pipeline continues, Kyle. Because that's also Jordan Peele. That also describes Jordan Peele. It was really good. It's the worst lit movie I've watched all year, but it was a very good movie. It has the worst lighting I have seen all year.
I got to tell you that looking at these pictures. Holy shit.
If I could, oh boy, howdy. I wish I could have seen what was happening in the climax.
Wow. Did it make it scarier?
No, it just made it confusing.
Wish you knew what was going on.
And I know because I watched the review. I know I'm going to get accused of copying Red Letter Media, but you can go see my tweet where I made fun of the lighting of Weapons, which I tweeted about 15 minutes before the Red Letter Media review went out. So for once,
we have a timestamp.
RLM to a movie take. So Katie and I were like making dinner and we're like, oh, Red Letter Media's review is up. And we put, and before we watch it, Katie goes, what do you think they're going to think? I'm like, I bet they liked it and they're going to shit on the lighting. And in the first minute, they shit on the lighting.
It's such an easy thing. You know, we're all out here freaking playing hopscotch where they have the 4D chess. You know, next time, everyone listening, next time you want to complain about the plot or the script, just complain about the lighting. You're going to sound so much classier.
It's a legitimate problem. Like modern movies, so many modern movies have shit lighting.
I think a lot of times you hear it's just they think they can fix it in post and they can't.
There's part of that, but you still need to have light there. You can shoot in RAW. Like a lot of people think you can just shoot in RAW and do whatever you want afterwards. But you still, like, if you want like edge highlights, it needs to be there to begin with. You can't add that in post. It's
watch me.
It's very, very annoying. Yeah, it's such a shame, particularly after Sinners, which I thought was beautifully lit and also just beautifully shot. Weapons is amazing. The cast is pretty much perfect, which is interesting because I guess originally Pedro Pascal was supposed to be in one of the lead roles, and the writer's strike hit, which paused production. And then when the strike had ended, he suddenly had, like, because of the way things moved, other things he had agreed to got in the way schedule-wise. So it apparently threw a big curveball at the production of the movie. I'm assuming he was supposed to be Josh Brolin's character. But Josh Brolin was amazing in it. The whole cast is amazing. The script is pretty much perfect. Like, the pacing of this movie is so good. Like, I'm so mad that it's so like hideous to look at.
Who's Benedict Wong play? I love that guy.
He is the principal of the school.
Oh, that sounds fun.
He's great. He like 100% understood the assignment. Like everyone in it is great. It's a really good cast. It's a good ensemble cast. They all do great. They're all also funny enough. They're all like MCU actors because Wong is obviously famous from being in the Doctor Strange movies.
Yeah.
Brolin is literally Thanos. And then what's her name from Ozarks is what I know her from, but she was just the Silver Surfer in the most recent Fantastic Four that just hit theaters.
Interesting.
So it's funny because it's like, they're doing, they're probably most famous for these giant popcorn movies, but here they're doing this low budget horror film and just like killing it, absolutely killing it. It's a really good movie. I want to give a hats off to the marketing department because I saw the trailer 1,000,000 times for this because they advertise it quite heavily. I don't think the trailer gives anything away. It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. Did I like the ending? Yes, I thought it was pretty much a perfect ending that was extremely satisfying. So, yeah. Yeah, it's good. Don't look anything up. Watch it when you have a chance. Turn up your brightness. Yeah, it was very good. So I've been having a good time. So we're gonna finish Bartender because we haven't finished that. And our Japanese travel is starting to get locked in because we are 3 months out. And Kyle, I have learned a lot of things about traveling to Japan. Would you like to hear about that?
All right, very well.
Okay, so you can't book a lot of things until you are 3 months out.
Okay, sure.
If you're going to Japan, there's a lot of things that you just straight up can't book unless it's about 3 months out. That is not true of all hotels, as we learned because we missed out on the Ryokan that we wanted to stay at in the Mount Hakone region.
So I assume like being a kind of tourist attraction.
Yes.
You got some dentist-like rules. You don't want to schedule out too early because, things change. Everyone misses their dentist appointment. Vacations change.
Yeah.
But the hotels are different. You could have gotten it earlier if you were on top of it or something.
It all just depends. Like there's not a lot of like attractions we want to. We know there's like a lot like the Ghibli Museum. We're not going to be in the prefecture that it's in, I don't think. Like a lot of museums you need like a ticket for, and they do a lottery system because they're so popular. And so you need to put in X amount of time ahead of time and see if you even win the lottery on top of that. But you could also just miss the window for the lottery and just like just no chance you can't go do this thing that you might want to do. So those are the things you need to be aware of. A lot of the sites that we want to visit are like historic sites. So they're just open to the public or they're in a park that's publicly accessible. So we're not too worried about all that kind of stuff. The really nerdy thing that we both want to do is there's a tour company in the Hakone Mountains that rent out basically every car that's ever appeared in Initial D. And then they take you on a driving tour around some very beautiful mountain roads.
Wait, driving tour as in like Segway hiking? Like everyone gets in their car and they all make a line and you guys just drive around, follow the leader?
This entire group of extremely famous Japanese sports cars are all driving around together on roads that are fun to drive on because there's a lot of switchbacks and turns.
That's ridiculous.
Because you're in the mountains, yes. So we have booked that. That was the thing that we were like waiting on.
Your must do.
We've had our flight booked for a year now. But yeah, if anyone wants to know, they're not sponsored. They're called Fun to Drive. And I wouldn't accept a sponsorship because they won't let you film, and that pisses me off. But
well, got to preserve the experience.
You can rent my dream car, which is a mid-90s Toyota Supra, which are just way too expensive. I will probably never own one, but I got it. You can only book them 3 months out, and they're super inconsistent with their days. So we didn't know what day of the week they would even be doing one of these tours. So we were just waiting until we could see into the last week of October to see what days they were even doing tours. And so I had an alarm set for the 29th because I wanted to check the 30th, and they are 13 hours ahead. So I knew on the 29th, around when I was awake, it would already be the 30th in Japan. And sure enough, popped up So yeah, we're gonna be driving a turbo Supra through the Hakone Mountains late October, which I'm very excited for. And now we get to finally book our damn trip because that was like the big thing we both wanted to do. And so now we're getting into actually booking hotels,
All the
and
nitty gritty.
that,
Yeah.
and learning, the trials and tribulations. And we hit a serious mega FromSoft style boss last night, which was because we're going to the Hakone Mountains. That's a big hot spring location. And we knew we wanted to do a ryokan. Are you familiar with what a ryokan is?
It's that one animation with the parrots, and they have a convention every year.
Sure, but it's also a traditional Japanese style inn.
Oh, okay.
And they're all over the place. But if you go to a ryokan in a hot spring town, they will probably have public and private hot springs, which is something we did want to experience. So while we're like, well, we're going to be there anyway driving, let's make that our big romantic evening because it's very close to our actual anniversary, which is the reason we're going.
Sure.
So yeah, we hit a boss last night, which was called the Japanese language only website to book a hotel.
Okay.
And I want to give a huge shout out to Yoan, who's in the Grinding Gear Discord, who is already hooking me up with the two new Final Fantasy XIV Japanese whiskeys.
Oh, very nice.
So yeah, I believe they go by Ein in the Discord. So yeah, Ein, shout out to you. Really appreciate you. Just hit him up. I was struggling, man. So we missed out on the ryokan we really wanted to go to. They're completely booked up for the entire month of October and the entire month of November. So we're like, okay. We literally spent like 3 nights looking at damn near every ryokan in Hakone. And finally found one we liked that was a reasonable price. You can find really nice stuff if, you're a total baller.
Sure.
But,
Yeah. You can throw down.
Finding something reasonable, that isn't
Unlock the premium pass.
extremely old. Yeah. So we finally found something, and lo and behold, it's one of the few options that like isn't also on booking.com or Priceline, which is the cheat. But that can be the hack. If they don't have an English website, you can just go to one of these third-party travel sites. But yeah, they were only on this website that's new to me called Japanican, which I read a bunch of reviews on, and people are like, it is impossible to get a refund back from these people. I would not recommend it. So we're trying to avoid booking through them.
But they have a lot of the stuff that you're looking at.
Yeah, they do.
It's just too easy,
Exactly. So, they've got an English language site, and pretty much damn near every hotel in Japan can be booked through them, but it's third party. So, I always try and book through the hotel website if I can. So, and a lot of the Japanese hotels have an English language site, but this one did not. It was Japanese only. So I was at the mercy of Google Chrome auto translate.
Oh, sick. Hell yeah.
Which I gotta say is working pretty well. I'm sure if you speak Japanese, I'm sure you would be laughing your ass off.
Hey, all you gotta read is click here. Yeah.
However, for filling out a form, it's wonderful. It definitely works great for letting you know that this is the field for your name, this is the field for your phone number, this is the field for furigana, which I had to figure out the furigana for my own name last night because it was a required field. It's the phonetic, like Japanese characters of your name.
Oh, so they can know your name.
Yes. So that was a thing that I had to figure out, and then I kept running afoul of phone number because it's required, but they expect it to be a Japanese phone number, which I guess starts with 0. And because the phone number didn't start with 0, it kept throwing an error. Which also ran an error with the zip code because they checked the zip code against the phone number.
Didn't we have to use to type 0 in the past when I was a kid?
No, you're thinking of 1, which is the US country code.
Yeah. Oh,
the 1
shit.
before an area code is actually just the US country code.
So who's number 2?
I don't know, man.
Japan and English taking all the all the big numbers here.
Yeah. So the issue was the furigana, the phone number, and the zip code, because Japanese zip codes are 7 digits and ours are 5. They can go up to 9 if you get the digits after the dash, but that's too many digits. So I was just like, I don't know what to put here. And so shout out to Ein. After hours of fighting with this thing, I just messaged. I was like, Ein, I'm sorry. You're like the only person. I don't mean to bother you. but could you take a look at this website? What am I doing wrong? Ain took it upon themselves to just call the Ryokan.
Oh, this is very sweet.
Yeah, and because we were worried that they were gonna get mad if we fudge the intake form, because a lot of websites have the English-Japanese split because they charge slightly more for non-Japanese travelers.
Sure.
So they give, which I don't think is disingenuous. You're trying to give the locals a deal. I think that makes all the sense in the world. So we were worried that they were going to be mad if we did that.
Isn't that also a Florida thing at Disney? Don't you get passes?
All the
cheaper?
parks have a Florida resident discount.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. State colleges typically work that
Oh,
way,
yeah,
too.
that's also a big one. Yeah, going to
Usually
college
a
in your own state where you pay the
discount.
taxes. Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, so Ain was kind enough to verify with them that they wouldn't mind if we just slammed a bunch of zeros in front of our zip code. And so we got through all of that. And literally from in about a 5-minute span, the room we wanted to book went from available to not available by the time we finally figured out.
Oh, that sucks, dude. Holy shit.
Ain, being wonderful, checked back in and was like, "Hey, how'd it go?" And I was like, I'm waiting for the morning. I sent him an email because the room we wanted was available. Now it's not. And Katie was like, "I wonder if they just like held it because we tried putting the form through like 7 times."
Yeah, that might yeah. But you're a consumer service, so I'm sure it happens. You wouldn't be the only ones who have tried.
Yes. So short story long, Ain called again and was like, "Oh yeah, the lady says that she sees it right here and she's gonna free it up. So go before someone else grabs it."
All right.
So
well, congratulations.
Hell yeah, dude.
Congratulations.
We officially have our Ryokan.
Sick.
So it's traditional. So it's got the tatami mats. We're gonna be sleeping on futons. It has a private hot spring off the back balcony, and then there's public hot springs on the grounds.
Nice.
And the other big thing with Ryokans is that they cook breakfast and dinner for you, and it's like a prepared meal. So I'm very excited for that. It's usually like
that sounds really relaxing.
Yeah. I'm very, very, very excited for that. So that's the big thing. So yeah, we're gonna probably have what I'm picturing in my head, literally the best day of my life.
Now, hold on. Wait, hold on.
No, literally, I'm going to drive my dream
I forgot
car
about that part.
in the Japanese mountains.
Okay,
and
fair.
then retire to like
there are multiple steps in this
most
day.
remote
Yes. All right.
like sleeping situation I will probably ever experience in my life.
That does sound pretty nice.
I'm very excited, Kyle. Very, very excited. Yeah, think of it as a traditional Japanese B&B. That's not a bad way to put it, Corey.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's it. Oh, and then we've got our first few days. We're going to start in Tokyo and end in Tokyo, so we've got the first half of the trip booked. So we've got 4 or 5 nights, I forget however many, in Tokyo. We're going to start in Ginza, because we watched enough Japan travel influencers now to have gotten the tip that if you're going for an extended stay, start in Tokyo but stay in a quieter area, and then also end in Tokyo and then go to your crazy neon lit, mega city if that's what you want.
Why is that?
That's what we're gonna do. Just so you can get your feet under you.
Sure.
Visiting the country.
Yeah, like going to New York and just walking straight into Times Square and getting overwhelmed and being like,
by the way, I've been in New York a ton of times, and I would never recommend staying near Times Square.
Or just don't even go in it. It's a shit show.
It's a night. You should see it once. It is. Times Square is cool to see once.
Yeah, I guess for if you love that Avengers moment or whatever, it can be worth seeing.
Avengers moment?
Yeah, when Steve Rogers stands up and he looks all confused, like one of those moments. You know how Steve Rogers with superpowers is overwhelmed? Yeah, if you need that in your life.
Okay.
You can go there for a hot moment.
Sure. So anyway, Kyle, this is me officially asking you permission because you're the great organizer of our Discord. Can I just start a Japanese travel channel? I don't want it in the forums because I don't want to have to go digging for it.
Yeah, no. We got we had Monster Hunter in the show part. Just put it in the show part. I'm totally down. Like I
want to start just a Japan travel channel in the Discord. Okay.
Throw it in there, throw Pokemon in there. Like I figure make a channel for whatever we're currently doing in the show.
I want to get Pokemon out of the forum so I can keep an eye on the Pokemon channel better.
Feel no shame, man. I've had to promote and demote various channels like the Monster Hunter people. I'm sorry you're down in general now, but It's the show. It's what we're playing.
Okay.
And currently
All
we're
right.
playing.
Well, today's a special day because we got to get you out of here in time to go pick up kiddo. Or do you have enough time for some?
I'm
Q&A?
good. I'm good till 3. I'm good.
Okay. Sick. Well, pulled some questions. As always, this comes from the Ask the Host channel, which is in the members only section of the Grinding Gear Discord. You get access to that if you support us anywhere. If you support us on YouTube or if you support us on Patreon, you get access to that. Just make sure you link your account. But let's take some questions.
Hello there. Hello there. Hello there.
Wafifi says, so it looks like we are in the crosshairs of another oncoming storm. Is there any chance of the return of weatherman Garrett if another hurricane rolls through? I personally found it very chill and relaxing.
I saw this and I went, wait, what?
Happy hurricane season, Kyle.
Yeah, but or do we have a thing? I guess.
Yes, officially is named Tropical, I believe, Development Aaron, because that's the next name. We're already into the E's.
Oh, yeah,
Aaron.
Well, yeah, because they name them all, you know.
Well, yes, but that means that they start at A every year. So that's how many storms we've already had.
Oh, sure.
They're not necessarily hurricanes, though. Like, just like even a tropical depression, I believe, ends up getting named. But, yeah.
Okay.
We do have a hurricane on the way. Maybe on the way.
I see it here. Yeah, it's coming from the Atlantic.
Yes. Yeah. And so, yeah, there's a lot of potential places that could get hit in the way. It could go towards Puerto Rico. It could jackknife north and head towards, Georgia or the Carolinas. We have no idea. But maybe is my answer.
Sure.
Maybe. If it's coming our way and I have anything of interest to if I end up having to do anything interesting, which is usually battening down the hatches, and I have stories to show or to share, yeah, I will totally do another hurricane stream. That was a good time. And I'm glad that everybody was invested in pool cage cam.
Yeah, the pool cage cam. Yeah.
We had boards up, but there was like a tiny little hole. And I still haven't found my capture card, by the way. I lost a capture card last year when I did that because I moved it out in the living room and I don't know where it went.
Oh, weird.
No idea where it ended up.
No,
the window did not get broken, so it's not like the storm sucked it out and whisked it away to one of my neighbor's yards. It's just missing.
A lot of people are asking, like, why is a 5-year-old starting school so early? This is the reason in Florida, because you need those.
Is this early?
Yeah, you need 2 weeks. It usually doesn't start till later August in like New Mexico and stuff like that, where I grew up.
Oh, I didn't. Well, I grew up in Florida,
because you get the 2 weeks to like be like, hey, hurricane weeks. Like let's not push into June here.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I never thought about that. But I also was a kid here, so that makes sense.
Personally, I would prefer if it was an exciting ending like last time. Was not, because I brought my computer with me to Jacksonville, because, if my house was going to get blown over, I figured, I want my computer. And so I brought it to Jacksonville, and your stream went down, but I had to go turn it off for you because you had no power and couldn't turn it off. So I had to hook up my computer to my in-laws' blue thing. So I had to use their TV in order to turn on my computer and shut down the YouTube stream.
Oh, yeah. Well, I did. Yeah, that was interesting.
It was interesting.
Based on my long storied history of 38 years on this earth getting hit by hurricanes, your house is going nowhere, man. You could keep your PC there.
No, we actually, it was more about like leaks and stuff. The place is untested. It was built
what
this
you
year.
do then is you move it to the bottom floor, unplugged, and you put a plastic bag over it on an elevated surface.
I didn't know. Maybe I had to start working from, Grandpa's office or something like that while I was up there.
Well, yeah, that's another case. If you're just worried about damage, you just elevate it and cover it. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. If this one even came directly at us, it would probably go down by 1 or 2 categories by the time it actually made it across to us, because it would have to come through the East Coast to hit the West Coast of Florida.
Yeah.
So, which is why Orlando usually does pretty well, even when they get direct hits, because they're dead center of the state. So by the time it hits them, it's already lost so much power because the eye hasn't been over the water anymore. So, yeah. Trolling Palicos. It's stealing this one from OSP. I don't know what that is. What was the first movie you saw that made you realize movies can be bad? Oh,
Mortal Kombat 2.
It's honestly probably my answer too.
Saw that in theaters.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat Annihilation is a terrible film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Godzilla. The Matthew Broderick Godzilla.
Oh, I like that thing, but
I like it enough. Actually, it was on Hotel TV recently. And I did have fun revisiting it, but that is a bad
Wasn't
movie.
that 2000 though?
That was still the 90s, I think. I think that was shortly after Independence Day.
What was that? 1998. Oh, wow. So, okay. So I had already had my heart broken a year earlier with Annihilation. So I was already in the know. I would have been 10 though. So it's like the perfect age to be like, how did that happen? What went wrong?
Let's pull up. What does Google think the worst 90s movies are?
Speed 2, Wild
That's
West.
IMDb. Oh, Wild Wild. I love Wild Wild West.
I was just disinterested.
I'm a big fan of that movie.
A Deep Blue Sea is not one of the worst movies ever made.
What? I love Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah.
You shut your mouth, Google.
That's weird.
What do you know? Batman and Robin. Yeah,
But
I liked those as a kid. I was young
yeah.
enough to enjoy it.
Yeah, what year was that? That was 1997 again. So
97.
we had some trials in 1997. We clearly were becoming self-aware. There were some bad movies, but it hadn't quite made. Blank Check? Who the hell's throwing Blank Check under the bus? This is ridiculous.
I love Blank Check.
1994.
Richie Rich was better, but I like Blank
Rich was
Check.
better, but yeah, Blank Check is. Who had expectations on Blank Check? Is my question.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Rogue Mage, thanks for the super. OSP is the overly sarcastic podcast. Ask Joe Cat about them. He included them as background characters in his own big Japan trip retrospective video. Oh, okay.
There we go.
I'm unfamiliar. Check them out. Yeah, honestly, yeah, Annihilation's probably it, man. Like I saw a lot of movies that were critically panned, but I loved them, like Wild Wild West. Hell, my earliest memory of going to the theaters, I know I was to movies before this, but it was going to see Hook. And Hook is a critically panned movie. I adore that film.
Wait, really?
Oh yeah, Hook gets shit on all the time.
Oh wow, 29%. Why? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Why?
Much maligned.
Huh. I saw Hook and I was told it was a classic. So that's just weird. I don't love Hook. It's awkward. It's extremely awkward at times.
Well, it's a massive critical audience split. It's 29% critical, 76% audience on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow, yeah, it is a weird movie.
I love Hook.
I think
it's so good.
Did everyone who reviewed it bring their kid and they were like, "Oh shit, I messed up."
I went with my neighbor. My neighbor's mom took us. We were like, I don't know, in preschool at the time.
What year
I think
was,
so.
What year was Hook?
Probably younger than Flynn is now.
Oh, 1991. Yeah, I couldn't. I saw it way after the fact.
Yeah, we would have been 4 years old, dude, when this came out. That's nuts. Critics hated Home Alone. What? Really? The first Home Alone? No way. I thought that was a well-reviewed movie.
What's like? Sometimes you just wonder what's the expectation. To me, it met expectations.
Oh, wow, yeah, 66%. I mean, it's not terrible. But
No,
yeah, it's not great. The sequel got 35%. I like the sequel. I like Home Alone too. It's extremely convenient. It does bother me that the wet bandits end up in New York and just happen to run back into the same kid.
I don't come to Rotten Tomatoes very often. What's the popcorn meter?
That's the audience rating. That's what users on Rotten Tomatoes rented it.
And the tomato meter is when they
the critic. That's like the Metacritic rating. So they pull all of the actual like written critics together.
Hellboy reviewed better than Home Alone.
Which Hellboy?
Hellboy 2004. The Hellboy movie.
Oh, that's a very good movie.
It is, but I feel like it's a movie that people would hate, like critics would hate, just for just looking at it. Just look at it.
Guillermo del Toro, I feel like typically reviews well.
Yeah, huh?
I feel like he's a bit of a critical darling. I mean, didn't Pan's Labyrinth win an Oscar?
It seems like something that would win an Oscar.
It's a very good movie. Did it win? It was nominated for a ton of Oscars. Holy crap. Best cinematography, best production design, best makeup and hairstyling, best production. It had, 7 Oscar nominations.
Whoa, holy shit. War of the Worlds there's a new War of the Worlds and it's at 3%.
Oh, the one with Ice Cube that takes place on Discord screen capture. Yes, that if you had spent your weekend on Twitter, it was all anyone was doing over the weekend was ripping on this movie.
Discord screen capture?
It takes place.
It's like a found footage movie.
He's at a desk for the whole film on a group chat in Discord as aliens attack.
Do they show the aliens?
I don't know. I've just seen like clips, and it looks like the worst movie made in the last decade.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
It looks like it had a budget of $3, and all $3 went to Ice Cube. Yes.
Yeah. It's really more of a mood piece.
Yeah. This has got to be because like
Ice Cube's been in some really good shit. Like this has to be a case of
horribly misjudging the people that were behind the script that ended up in front of him.
Huh.
Like he's a good actor. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, I can see the artistic interpretation. You know, let's do Hamlet, but his dad is a media conglomerate. Like, it makes sense to be like, oh yeah, let's do War of the Worlds over Discord. Yeah, that's like a radio play.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's one of those things that it's like it's getting so critically panned that it actually sounds like it's going to be a fun watch. Like I think once it comes out on home release, I'm going to give it a view. But it is on Amazon Prime. Oh, it's already out. Oh shit, I could watch that for free right now. Well, for the cost of my Amazon stuff.
For the thing you're already running. Yes. There's no such thing as a free land.
Ads to the bastards. They added ads to Amazon Prime.
There's a wonderful PBS show called Ralph Humble Media Genius. He teaches kids about media safety, using the internet and all that sort of thing.
You've told me about him before, yeah.
They do Halloween episodes where his grandma shows up and tells stories. And the one this weekend was, and it took 4 to 6 weeks for delivery. And they all screamed.
That's great. That's freaking fantastic. Yeah, I had so few things delivered like in my youth that I don't even really have a sense.
No, I don't.
Like,
my dad worked for JCPenney for a time, so we did have some things in a catalog that we called numbers for.
I mean, I think my folks got a decent amount of Christmas gifts from like the Sears catalog, so they were probably well aware of how long things took, but I wasn't because it was secret Christmas stuff. I distinctly remember waiting impatiently for paintball gear that I ordered out of a magazine that I bought at Books A Million back when I was really into paintball. And then my first online order ever, which was just like random band t-shirts from a site that is still operating called interpunk.com.
Ooh,
shout out to them.
Nice.
I still have most of those shirts. They have a lot of holes in them from wearing pyramid belts. But, Sleepless One asks, how does one decide when content should be split across multiple channels? For example, main versus clips or main versus VODs versus clips. I'm asking because my other half wants to start up something and we're trying to figure out if she should split clips versus longer VODs from the start or just put everything on one channel. There's no correct answer.
Nope.
Is the short answer I can give you. It's going to be different for everyone and different for every kind of content. Even within like our own circles, like none of our friends and peers agree on what to do. Some go the everything in one place strategy. Some go somewhat split across a few channels. Some go extremely split across a ton of channels. It all just kind of depends on what you want to do. If you really, I will say with gaming, if like you really want to focus on like a single game style stuff, it's probably worth splitting. I say that as someone who is feeling the pain of trying to diversify after doing primarily Final Fantasy XIV for 3 years.
And ultimately, if your audience is going to be opposed to that particular switch, like Final Fantasy XIV into a puzzle game, there is some crossover, but there's this really mad idea that you are not your audience's Venn diagram. And it's one of the harder things you ever have to realize. Like I was doing Here's the Storm. I did D&D content. I said, hey, here's the Storm players. Come look at my D&D content. They went, no. Because why? I'm the person who has that Venn diagram. So that's really like, otherwise it is personal preference about what you want to put into the world. If you want the one-stop shopping, but if your audience is actually opposed to watching it or it is too different, Bellular does a good job with this. He has a World of Warcraft news channel, and then he has a video game news channel. The
He
video
also has
game
an abandoned Final Fantasy 14 news channel.
sure does, and there was a reason for that split at that time, and that channel did just fine during its height covering that news.
That's a great example. Like the WoW news is only of interest to WoW players. Like that is not going to perform well on a general gaming news channel. So that makes all the sense in the world to me. I have found it really interesting from the outside looking in to some of the more popular streamers that I've been exposed to since Katie started watching Iron Mouse, because that has led us to Connor and Ludwig, who are hyper successful, like on a level that I'm just plain not used to. Even considering like watching content creators that I consider successful, they're on like a whole other level. And they do put a lot of their content on the same channel, more than I think we normally do. And yet they still do have secondary channels. And I haven't quite sussed out where they put what and why.
Yeah.
Like I haven't fully figured out their strategy.
Yeah, we don't need, the algorithm thing, like sometime if you're big enough to, you can double dip and you can do a live stream that's shared on a live stream algorithm, take that whole thing and upload it to another YouTube, and it's shared on the VOD algorithm, and you might get double the views across both channels because it's being shared with people who don't watch live streams versus people who do.
Yeah. I should ask Jesse Cox about his channel mixing. Yeah, but he just recently started a brand new channel. He's got that new series of Am I Too Old for This? And it's on an entirely new, fresh YouTube channel. So sometimes a lot of it just depends. If you're starting from scratch, like you're in a great spot because you get to just do whatever feels right. So, yeah, Katie and I actually sat and like we're like analyzing Ludwig's YouTube channel the other night because I was like, this is fascinating. And Katie's like, why? And I started explaining to her, and she's like, all right, let's take a look at it and let's figure it out. And the best we can come up with him is that because he has edited videos on the channel, he has his live streams on the channel. I think he has a bigger audience on Twitch, but he still has a very large live audience on YouTube. And because he duo streams, that VOD, he just leaves that shit up on his main channel, even though sometimes edited videos on the main channel are recaps of the stream, just heavily edited with new voiceover. And then he also has a stream clip channel. So the only thing I can think of, what Katie and I came out with is like, all right, he's got completely unique edited videos that goes on the main channel. Completely uncut live streams also just happens on the main channel because that's where the audience is. And then high profile streams get edited into main event videos for the main channel. And then just other like goofy one-offs and asides and rants that goes on the Stream Clips channel, which I think is a pretty damn good strategy, all things considered. He is, of course, a variety streamer, though. So he does all sorts of kinds of things. And I think that does work better for a variety channel. And again, go back to our previous comments about if you're thinking about doing like single game content, you should probably keep that to, one game per channel. So, yeah, we've been fairly variety, but we were so heavy Final Fantasy 14 for a while that it becoming more balanced to variety has been really interesting and kind of hard for us.
And everyone under the sun who ever tried to do that, or just, have multiple.
Why not
things?
just put alternative content in its own playlist on the same channel? Because literally no one on earth knows how to find a playlist. Playlist click-through is less than 1% of how anyone finds anything on our YouTube channel, or from talking to other YouTubers, literally anyone else's. And also, one of the most common questions we get is, where is X live stream? And we're like, on this playlist. And like, we are constantly linking playlists and no one ever finds them. YouTube doesn't make them particularly easy to find. They don't work all that great on television UI, which is how a lot of people watch YouTube. Most people just watch YouTube through their algorithm, which is the suggested tab.
The homepage.
You load it up, you go to suggested, and that's how you find stuff. So really, more than anything else, that's all that really matters. And through that, videos or streams that don't perform well, that get pushed out through suggested, can have a detrimental effect on your channel. So yeah, probably the question I answered the most for the channel, says Luke. Yeah, I'm not surprised about that at all. Yeah, we use playlists all the time. We have a lot of them. I'm glad you use them, Toxicat, but yeah, you're a rare bird.
No, it's part of our own internal organizing, and I'm glad you take advantage of them.
Yeah. I like full honesty, they are horribly annoying and not worth the effort, but we do it. Like there's probably not a worse return on on investment than playlists for us. They seem like a massive waste of our time. But we still do it because we like being organized. And Kyle mostly messes with it, so it's not really my problem.
Final question.
Yes, I'm not on the notes. Paying the Piper. Has Garrett or Kyle watched the Detective Pikachu live action movie? What did you all think of it? Yes, I liked it for the most part.
Yes, for the most part. There was a part in the middle bit with the dueling ring that just made no sense. And it's been too long since I've seen it, and I can't give you more information. I'm sorry.
People want us to talk about Pokemon. We've awakened the sleeping Pokemon public of our community. Kyle.
Mr. Mime was there, and he was like looking for his dad, so he walked into the duel ring, and they found somebody who was like, yeah, I know who your dad is, and then they didn't tell him anything, but he left anyway. There was something in that middle part was so offensive to my storytelling brain.
Going into the woods, whatever that section was, I don't remember what happened. I just remember being bored when they went into the woods.
It had some start go issues, but otherwise it was cute.
Don't you mean it had some Pokemon Go issues?
Did Reynolds get teleported into the Pikachu, or was he actually a Pikachu? He had amnesia, right?
He was just the voice of Pikachu.
No, but wasn't he like inside the Pikachu? Pikachu had amnesia, right? That was a thing that happened.
I don't.
What year was that? 2019. That was a long time ago.
God, it was pre-COVID. It feels like a billion years ago.
That was...
I opened a drawer the other day, and I still have 2 sealed Detective Pikachu card packs. They are apparently worth nothing. Everyone hates the Detective Pikachu cards.
Yeah. Yeah, he was the dad. Yeah.
He is the Pikachu.
Yeah, his soul got teleported. Yeah.
The soul? What was it, like a bill transfer system mishap?
No, I think it was more like, there wasn't like a dude walking around who thought he was Pikachu. It wasn't, they didn't swap bodies. It wasn't Freaky Friday. He was just, Dave was stuck inside of a Pikachu and he forgot how he got there. But I remember it doing really well, right? Yeah. It had a budget of 150 million. It made 433. That's right. Mewtwo showed up. God, I
remember Mewtwo showing up and being like, damn, that Mewtwo looks really good in this movie. I love Mewtwo. I'm a big Mewtwo fan. They did a good job translating Mewtwo into a semi-live action.
Yeah, the Pokemon were fun.
I remember leaving thinking that was a competent film, but it didn't absolutely blow my mind. Like I would just love a Pokemon movie about Pokemon trainers.
I think it deserves more praise because it was pre Super Mario. The fact that a video game film did that well in 2019 is still notable.
Yeah, no, I mean it was a solid movie. It's pretty damn well done. It pretty much is kind of Minecraft-esque, live action actors with a bunch of animated characters. The Mario Brothers movie is fully animated. Which, by the way, remind me next week. I'm sure it'll be on my mind. I'm going to Epic Universe this week.
Oh, damn! Betraying the mouse
for the first time.
Wow.
Well, it's been like the only request from my brother.
Don't they run like a background check? If you have a Disney pass, you can't go in there.
I have been. Oh well, yeah. Just But the thing is you can bribe them. If you give them money, they'll let you do whatever you want. Yeah. You see, we live under a capitalistic society, and that means that I can exchange money.
That's crazy,
for
man.
Experiences.
That's freaking crazy.
Yeah. And it's gonna blow your mind, man. But you can that thing that you keep in the bank, you can take that out of the bank and you can give that to people, and they will let you do things.
I've heard if I keep it in there, it'll get bigger. So no, I don't. I don't. I try to leave it in there for.
It's probably not the best way to leave it in. I hope you should probably put it in it somewhere else other than just the bank.
Well, yeah, you put it in different places, but eventually, you want to take it out.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
It's Epic Universe, right?
Epic Universe, yeah. Universal's Epic Universe. Yeah.
Is there? I need a map. Here we go.
We'll be going. It's been my little brother's like one request this year. I've been a terrible big brother. I've no time for anything. I haven't done anything nice for him. I was like, we're gonna make this happen, dude. I'm like, are you sure you want to go when it's this hot? He's like, yes. This is all I want. I'm like, we're going. All right, we'll figure it out. I'll sweat my ass off. I don't care. So, yeah. Katie, me, and Chase are heading to Epic Universe. Gonna sweat our asses off. Booked the cheapest Universal hotel we could find because you get in an hour early before the
nice crowd. Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
So we've been looking at the wait times every day, and it is looking so bad, dude.
Oh, and the
It's looking
heat.
so bad.
All right, you got Isles of Berk. You got the dragons. What is Celestial Park? Is that just their made up?
This is just kind of their general main gate.
Okay,
Like
Nintendo
roller
World.
coaster.
Dark Universe is.
Classic Universal monsters: Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman.
Do they have a ride back in there?
Oh yeah. There's a couple.
Oh,
the big feature back there is it takes place in Dracula's castle, and it's like the daughter of Dr. Frankenstein has like built a Frankenstein like 2.0, and all the other monsters get pissed off about it.
Oh, that sounds sick.
It looks really cool. It's actually the ride I'm most excited for. I know I do content about video games. I love horror.
Well, yeah.
I know I'm gonna like the Nintendo
exactly.
stuff. I knew the Nintendo stuff was coming. I had no idea they were making like a classic movie monster zone, and it looks so cool.
Huh.
I can't freaking wait.
I wonder if they have some good those dinosaur suits people wear. I hope they have a good one of those for Toothless.
There is a meet Toothless attraction, and he's a full from the ground up animatronic that you go and you get to pet and interact with and get a photo taken with.
Oh, yeah. Wow. He's pretty decent. Look at him.
Looks freaking sick.
Yeah.
And sometimes a face character shows up as Hiccup. He's not always there.
Yeah. It looks like you get Hiccup or what's her face? I forget her name. His wife.
Oh, they do get married, don't they?
Yeah.
It's been so long since I still haven't seen the third How to Train Your Dragon.
I should fix that because that's probably my favorite animated film of all time.
The third one's
Anyway.
good. Yeah.
I
heard the live action's actually pretty decent.
Astrid.
Too.
That's right. Astrid. Yeah. We watched a couple clips because we're probably going to skip Meeting Toothless because the line is usually 2 hours.
Well, yeah,
long.
that's a kid. Yeah.
So we watched a couple videos and I'm like, shit, this is really cool. And oh my God, the dude they've got playing Hiccup is like pitch perfect. like absolutely showed up to play. It's impressive. It seems like they're doing a good job at the park. We're going to be, you know that I'm a Disney adult and we go to the parks often. I literally cannot remember the last time I had to try or I had to care about what I do at a park. So I'm actually kind of stressed about this weekend.
Oh, because you're gonna want to get things in.
This is big first world problem energy.
Yeah,
but normally we just go to the park and we just hang out. Like we just
'Cause
go,
there's
we meet some friends,
there's no
we get some
threat.
drinks, whatever's a short line, we just go jump on. I love going to parks, but I love going to the parks with my annual pass because that means the true baller status is going to a park and knowing I can just come back whenever I want. So you're not stressed out and you don't need to worry about if lines are long. That's not going to be the case this weekend because it is not cheap. It's not a part of the annual pass. So even if we wanted to pony up for an annual pass, Epic Universe is not currently included on it because it's a brand new park. It's a one and done. We got to make it count. So we're rope dropping and oh God, I'm actually researching like some kind of newbie tourist. And I don't like it, Kyle. I don't care for it.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, walk past that. Walk past Rise of the Resistance. Go straight to Millennium Falcon.
Why?
Everyone stops at Rise of the Resistance after rope drop.
Yeah, but that's
it's
because it's an infinitely better ride than Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, but also they don't have to walk as far. So do Millennium Falcon first. They'll go to Millennium Falcon second, and then you can come back to Rise of the Resistance. Like that's the kind of metagaming you need.
It depends on the weight. I'm not sure I agree with that.
But it's what I did.
If you
have
can get on Rise in under an hour, you should just do it because it usually gets up to like 2 hours later in the day.
Yeah, no. I just did this, a few weeks ago.
Okay.
This was the strategy, and it worked.
Okay. And you didn't have a lightning lane or anything like that?
No, just stood in line.
It was a good day. I haven't seen Rise under 90 minutes in the afternoon in a long time, but cool. Glad it worked out for you. We're just gonna keep misunderstanding and fighting today. It's gonna be one of those days. But it's also gonna be the end of the podcast. Thank you, Poppy, for the super sticker. As I segue into thanking our patrons, of which Poppy is one of them. Check it out. Supporterbromance.com. That will take you directly to our favorite website, which is of course our Patreon. It's just patreon.com/Garrett and Kyle. Thank you to our recent patrons, Dandy Z, Far O Fluid, and Quest and Quill, as well as our legendary level backers that get thanked each and every episode. So shout out to you, Sean B, Cheesy Bob, Lost Mythics, Zervon, Compside Jedi, Pothy P, Bloodsy Von Snugglegore, Shinny, Geo, Nicholas C, Jerry T, Sean and Jen, Vernacular Ham, Brom, Vasilius, KLG Chaos, and of course, shout out to the Evane tier, Evane. Thank you for the support. Other than that, Kyle and I use Doghouse Systems gaming PCs, so check them out over at doghousesystems.com if you're in the market for a new gaming rig. You might even be able to play Monster Hunter like we do. Use the code BROMANCE. You'll get upgraded to a free 1 terabyte NVMe SSD for your trouble, and we will get supported in the process. That's how it works. Again, that's doghousesystems.com, code BROMANCE. Kyle and I are on the popular social media sites. I am Garrett Art. He is Kyle Ferguson. You can find us on Twitter and Blue Sky. Go and enjoy. I try to cross-post as much as possible. Or I'm just going to start doing personal posts on Blue Sky because they perform better, and content posts on Twitter because they perform better.
Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah.
I've noticed a trend.
Use the outlet for its purpose.
The real ones follow me on Blue Sky. The folks that are just here for gaming takes follow me on Twitter, which is fine. I appreciate all of you. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Grinding Gear podcast. Until next time, GG.
Take care.
I don't know what the furigana for GG is, and it's stopping me from booking a hotel.
I mean, it'd just be GG, G-E-G-E, right? Wouldn't say gaga or goo-goo. I'm kind of low on options.
Damn. All right. Got some messages to catch up on that we didn't get to during the show. Sorry if we missed you. Evan Super, I don't understand much about add-ons, but I'm all for getting rid of the worst offenders. Yeah, this wasn't necessarily that they like they're illicit in any way. It's that the World of Warcraft developers want to change how they think about what they just even allow and how it affects how they design fights, which I think is really healthy.
Right. And this was something they brought up a long time ago and everyone called bullshit and no one really reported on it. And now that they're actually going through with it, it seems like it's going to be a real deal. So
yeah. I mean, things can always change. But like I'm sure there'll be some friction. Like this will probably go into testing on some test servers, and there'll probably be some folks that think it sucks, or every version of this is the best to this is the worst thing ever on the spectrum. I'm sure, but it'll probably be how they always do. Take some feedback, adjust what they can adjust, and hopefully we end up with a good product. But yeah.
I'm not.
Fallen plays super. A friend of mine plays WoW with a serious visual impairment, so she welcomes needing less add-ons. Love to play 14 with many macros and add-ons. Yeah. I mean, that's add-ons are. I don't know, like because we cover so much Final Fantasy 14, I feel like there is a pretty big pushback about add-ons and modifications. But first off, they're just allowed in World of Warcraft for now. At least combat add-ons are what's going to get focused on. It's not like all add-ons are going away, but yeah, it's even then it's like it's like what is actually allowed versus what is like ethically right, right? Like, if you have some sort of visual or input impairment, like I really don't think anyone in the right mind is going to get on you for using mods, even if it's technically against the EULA. And plus, just in practice, like it's been proven with Final Fantasy 14, it's just like unless you stream, No one's gonna even know. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Because it's all client side. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah. I think a lot of people always cite, and particularly MMO players, are prone to do what's easiest and optimize the fun out of things, and that includes using accessibility tools. So you have to be careful about what you create that makes the game too easy. But when it comes to WoW, I grew up in the you ain't got mana for that days. So the idea of one button rotation to take care of the parts of the game that I didn't evolve with sounds very relaxing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean we're not talking about that, Leo. Yeah, there's obviously there's some really creepy, gross add-ons out there for stalking and abuse purposes, but that's not what we were focusing on today's topic of conversation.
Right.
But yeah. What's this, Corrick? Is it joke? GG. What does that mean? Couple of old men in Japanese? What is
That's true. Yeah, yeah.
in Japanese. Primarily refers to an old man or grandpa, often used in casual or affectionate way. Oh my word!
There
and
you
then
go.
It shows Kiki's delivery service. I need to watch that. I have never seen Kiki's.
Yeah, it's fun.
Service.
It's good.
GG is old guys. Okay, wonderful. That works. It works. I still think we should just start a second podcast or just a let's chat day called just Old Taku, or you and I just
yeah. I mean, it's future proofing. GG is future proofing us. Yeah, we're gonna be at this a long time. We might as well get ready.
Oh my god, dude! I had a meeting. I had a meeting with some folks at a college that I do some work with last week, and it was a dude who's about my age, and then like a newcomer to the team who's in their like early to mid 20s. And towards the end of the meeting, we're just being friendly and we're talking anime.
Nice.
And
Like
the
you do.
younger one goes, "Oh yeah, like Cowboy Bebop." And I'm like, "Hold on a second. How old are you?" He goes, I think it was like 23 or something, 24. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm 24. Like, what do you mean? I love the classics." I'm like, man, the last few times I talked to like anyone in their 20s about anime, they reacted to that kind of stuff. Like, that's the old shit. I'm not gonna watch that.
Yeah,
So,
that Avengers.
maybe-
There's this old movie called Alien.
Yeah, maybe the kids are all right. Maybe they're doing okay.
Well, I'm glad
Yeah.
that's a classic. It is.
Old Taku is amazing branding. Yeah, we should probably do something with that before someone else takes it. I'm sure someone's done it.
Get
or
it before
something.
you. Yeah, but yeah, that doesn't mean we
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah. 'Cause we're starting to get this. We're starting to get this undercurrent. I don't know if you've noticed of. Is it nostalgia or is the old stuff actually good? Like, kind of have that theme going on right now. And I think it'd be fun to kind of take that and run with it. Caddy, thanks for the 37 months. Said Stormblood is for single target. Stormblood 2, Dawn Trail, is for AoE. That totally works. That 100% works. Colin K, thanks for 13 months. Funny thing to think, but when the new expansion for 14 comes out, will they see a sales boost from people coming back in and being told to buy a skip?
Oh, interesting.
What does a skip have to do with that?
With the idea that people would buy a skip of Dawn Trail and therefore earnings would be up.
That
in
is
Final Fantasy 14.
is an extremely aggressive
It'd be like,
thought.
yo, we're gonna make an expansion so bad.
I'm sure
we're
someone will make
gonna
a video
sell-
claiming that
we're
that's
gonna
the
sell
reason.
skips, everybody. And we're gonna, and then everyone will have to buy a Dawn Trail box copy, but they're gonna buy a skip. Yeah, I don't think any artist wants that. I don't think any artist wants the producer's situation where they take out the insurance. There are always going to be nefarious forces when there's money to be made and weird shit happens. I don't think anybody wants to make anything bad on purpose.
I mean, if you don't want to play Dawn Trail, you don't want to play Dawn Trail. I'll go to bat for the patches. 7.2 is incredible. I haven't played 7.3 yet, so we'll find out. But I thought 7.2 was excellent in terms of narrative. Evan, thanks for another super. If y'all want a favorite, more niche movie, I love the 1996 Sonic the Hedgehog OVA. I have seen so many clips from this, but I've never actually sat down and watched it. This is where the knuckles in like an Australian outback hat comes from.
Oh, how is this different from the TV show? It's just a movie of the TV show?
I don't think it is the TV. First off, there were 2 TV shows, and I don't think this is based on either.
Huh. So does this not have the little chicken bot?
I don't think it has Robotnik with like the creepy red eyes in it, which was the more serious television show.
Oh, this is freaking a mood. This thing looks great. Oh wow.
It does look. This looks solid, man.
Yeah.
I was so into Sonic. I had like all the Archie comics when I was young. I was really into Sonic in my youth. Pokemon killed my Sonic obsession.
I mean, I kind of grew out of having to go fast. Let me tell you,
I did too. And then Need for Speed Underground came out, and I went right back to it.
Raising 3 kids, you forget how important speed is to your social standing, and there is a point where every kid is determined that their shoes make them faster, their socks, they are the fastest. It's extremely important. And granted, if there's a Jaguar, whoever runs gets to live. So, it's important for them. Same with hide and seek,
What about a Jaguar? Do you have Jaguars in your neighborhood?
No, I'm just saying, like, I get why it's an important skill to be fast when you're small. But it's weird how much it dominates their brains, their need to be fast. But I did grow out of it too.
Races are very easy, tests of skill.
Yeah. I love the long jump.
Winner and the loser it's very quick to come to a conclusion.
The long jump was my favorite.
What the hell did I like? I liked like relays, anything where you had to run down and like spin around and then come back, because I was pretty good at fighting dizziness.
So this was post 1993 Sonic the Hedgehog, the TV show, the one with the weird robot chicken.
Okay. I always forget how to differentiate between the two, because there was the one that was the very kiddie cartoon one with chili dogs, and then there was the one that was more steeped in like actual Sonic lore, and I preferred that one.
Yeah, the one where you would like actually kind of be disturbed by the roboticizing process.
Yes, yeah. Robotnik was freaking creepy in that one. He had like glowing red eyes. He was spooky. Oh God, I remember it was junior or senior year of college. I had a buddy, because they were doing the DVD release of that, and I believe he got tapped to do the art for the cover.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think it's been re-released a ton of times since, but if there's like a mid-2000s box set, I think that has one of my buddies named Steve's art on it.
Sonic Prime is freaking ridiculous in how hard it goes. It's insane. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but it goes for it. It commits.
Sonic the Animated Series is the one with Princess Sally and is connected to the comics, and Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog is the more cheery childhood one. Okay.
And then there's Sonic Underground.
Okay.
Which was...
I just remember... I think the Sonic comics were the only comics in my life that I actually was like subscribed to. And I remember the day that the Super Sonic issue showed up in my mailbox. That was hype. That was because I wasn't into anime yet. Like that was my DBZ. That was my Super Saiyan moment.
He kind of did.
It is literally
turned into gold,
like
and he flew around.
Super Saiyan Sonic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was some nutsoid shit. Let's see. Evan the Ninja also supered. Bakano is one of my favorite anime. Oh, we're just doing favorite anime now?
I mean,
I've not heard of Bakano.
Do I know this one? Is this the one with the weird muscles?
This just looks like people, man.
Yeah, these do look like people trying to stab each other or something like that.
And a paring knife? Looks like you're just gonna like cut some kiwi with that thing.
There's monsters.
I'm gonna open up a can. We need to get you out of here. So I saw something on Crunchyroll that I didn't recognize, and it seems popular, and I want to know if anyone knows about it, but we'll save that for a day where you do not want to go.
These monsters look kind of fun. It's 12 years old, actually, so... I'm not familiar with this at all.
Yeah. FF Supered. I like the series A Certain Magical Index, and the first season came out in 2008 and the second season in 2010, but no season 3 until over a decade later. That is hell on earth?
Did they pull it off? Did they do it? A certain magical index.
That was like for me. That would be like when we finally got the actual final season of the Clone Wars. Like I'm trying to think of a revisit that I was more hyped about.
That's a really strange example because it didn't need to be made, but it was sick. Because we all knew it was going to happen. Like no one was sitting the sidelines being like,
That's what fuels my fuck spoilers, man. Because like how it happens is the most important thing. Like,
it depends.
it's like I am a journey, not the destination guy.
Yeah.
And that's why even though I still think you're insane for reading the endings of things,
well, a lot of the times it's just about seeing the animation.
The journey is more important to me.
Making sure a giant computerized monkey doesn't show up and start dancing in the middle of a town. You know, like I gotta be ready.
It's like surprise, the good guys win in Lord of the Rings. Like, was anyone shocked by that?
You know what I didn't do that for was Mob Psycho, because they put the fight at the beginning and then we're like, we're not explaining it. And then they just got straight to the normal show.
I accidentally did that with the second to last season of The Wire, where we watched the entire final episode on accident first, where the main villain is dead on the ground bleeding.
Wow.
And I thought they were just going to Tarantino that shit and be like, here's how we got here. And I
don't believe how this happened to me.
I gotta say, not a terrible way to experience, I think, the fourth season of The Wire. It was very riveting. I made my own Tarantino cut. But yeah. Spam Wing Duck, thanks for reminding folks to like the stream. Evan, I appreciate the support today, Evan. You were excitable and very into what we were talking about. Top 5 anime. Let's judge Evan's top 5 anime.
All right, very good.
And we can't be too mean because he paid us $10. Trigun. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. That's the correct one. People are going to fight me on that. Bakano, as previously stated, unfamiliar. One Piece. Can you put something in your top 5 that's not done?
Well, I mean, it's followed.
We're all probably going to die before One Piece is done. So,
well, but I think they put Fate Zero. Isn't Fate Zero like the largest conglomerate of everything ever, or does that refer to a single property in the Fate lineup? Because there's the Fate Stay Night multiverse.
I only know about Trigun and FMA here. Obviously I'm aware of One Piece. I haven't watched much of it. Never seen Fate Zero. This is the first time I've heard of Bakano. So this is new to me.
I watched.
I am. What is it? What do you call it when you find Jesus again later in life?
Reborn.
I'm a reborn weeb. I'm a weeb reborn. So I'm getting back on the Japanese media horse. Everyone, please be patient. Please be patient.
Well, it seems like
born again. There you go. I'm a born again weeb. That's what I was looking for.
I like this list because it has so many different styles inside of it.
Yeah, it seems like this is a pretty nice spread. Yeah. I'll have to look into Bakano. I haven't heard of it. I've heard of these others that I haven't watched, but I haven't heard of Bakano. When is the Hektai ASMR channel? Whenever Kyle decides that would be funny enough to sincerely pursue.
Really double down on it. I don't know. Shorts are taking off. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe we really need to.
Maybe we really should just put this out. Hey guys, new patch.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. MSQ.
Oh. The new patch is already here. We are MSQing tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll get to it.
We do not dictate when patches drop.
On my own time. When I'm ready.
Aristotle supered. Have you guys considered Gateway Fate this year? Guest list is awesome so far. Jason Charles Miller, Amanda Aiken, Frosty. Love to see you guys. I have a 2-part answer to this. First off, this has been sent to me. It's too close to my Japan trip for me to do any,
in October there.
Travel. I cannot risk getting sick. I simply cannot. Because this is, I believe, October 18th and 19th. Just too damn close to leaving. The second part of that is we weren't invited. we do things when folks ask us to do them, and no one has asked us to show up to this.
I mean, yeah, you could attend as a fan. Where is it? What's MO? Shit. It's where's St. Charles MO?
St. Louis, Missouri.
Missouri. It's not the letters I would choose from Missouri, but okay, fine.
Well, MI is Michigan, Kyle.
Well, maybe
MI is taken.
Maybe you got 2 S's in there and you should go with that. Yeah.
Would you prefer Missouri?
I'm not sure I've ever been to Missouri. Have I been to Missouri?
I think I drove through on the way. Would it be on the way to Iowa? Yes.
Oh, Mississippi does have more S's. Okay, so they're kind of Wait. When did they join the Union?
MS is Mississippi, MI is Michigan. It probably is order of joining the Union.
Yeah, they already had
land being divvied up into multiple states. I don't know my American history that well, unfortunately.
I've been to Iowa. Yeah. I've never been to Missouri.
Yeah. So no, I guess we could just attend like we do fan. It's not like they invite us to Fan Fest, but yeah, this one's just the timing doesn't really work out this year. But yeah, other stuff like last week when folks were like, "Gary, you going on Trash Chase?" I'm like, I can't just invite myself on one of the most popular like anime podcasts in existence.
I am in Japan.
Yeah, I'll tell you what works, but everybody needs to be real cool about it. What works, if you want us to see it, like collab with folks, what really works is you letting the person you want us to collab with know that you want to see them collab with us. But you have to like be cool about it.
Yeah.
You can't be pushy. You have to be like friendly and polite and be like, "Hey, so and so, we love these other guys and we think they're cool and you should invite them on."
That's how we started talking.
Because we don't already know them and we don't have a point of contact between us. It can be kind of tough.
Andy, OK Mage, like a lot of our good friends now are just people who kept showing up in chats being like, "You guys need to hang out."
That's how we ended up talking with Preach.
Yeah.
I think people assumed we were friends because I'm friends with Tally, but no, I'd never met or talked to Preach in my life. Folks showed up in Preach's chat and were like, "Yeah, you should go talk to the Grinding Gear guys."
St. Louis is right on the chef's nipple.
Chef's nipple?
Yeah, the United States.
There's a chef in the US?
there's a giant chef in the US. Yeah.
Okay.
It's what I've always seen since I was a kid.
It's news to me.
Okay, you see there? You see Minnesota? That's his hat. And Iowa's his nose and his face.
Tennessee is his giant wiener?
No, that's his foot. He doesn't have a wiener. It's somewhere in Arkansas.
Louisiana looks like his foot.
Yeah, Louisiana's his foot.
Yeah, so Tennessee would be this rock.
Oh, I've never really.
rod.
Yeah, I've never thought about Tennessee in that way. Oh, you know what? I used to think Tennessee was the plate and Kentucky was the chicken.
Random.
But look at that. Tennessee's the plate.
Absolute random Tennessee shade by one Kyle Ferguson.
Tennessee's the plate and Kentucky's the chicken.
I've never thought about
He's a
Tennessee.
chef.
Tennessee is a wonderful state. You apologize.
I guess it's got Nashville and stuff for you musically inclined people, but yeah, I don't think I've driven through Kentucky. That was delightful.
Kentucky's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So is Tennessee though. You should go to Tennessee sometime. You would enjoy it. Tennessee has mountains, dude. You should go to the Tennessee mountains. Visit go to the mountains and then go to Gatlinburg. It's a good time.
I mean, we had some good mountains in the square states where I grew up, By the time
you got cool. These are completely different mountains.
By the time we figured out how to shape a state, we were a little too far west, but before we were just making shit up. I know it's based on rivers, everybody. I'm fine. I feel the great need to say that. Did you know it was the Graha music? Yes, it was obvious. I was there. I was playing the video game. I didn't feel the need to say it.
I don't remember Graha's music. I don't remember Graha's music. I'm sorry.
Say it aloud. I'm sorry, everybody.
I didn't remember it.
I need a sign where I state the obvious just to make sure everybody knows I'm aware.
At no point in the title did we say Leo pointing at every reference. That was not the goal of the stream. Also, I do not remember what Graha's music is at all.
This is that music.
Not even a little. Not even a little. Do you know how terrifying it is to try and remember things that happen as you're playing through Final Fantasy XIV in front of a live audience? A lot of music was lost in that hope and desire. Zico wants to know how the kiddos liked the models.
That was so cool of you. We had a great time painting him this weekend. He went with the Tyranny. It was gold. He wanted it primed in gold, and he gave it a nice blue on accents. It had a lot of venom on its blades. I'll show you. I don't have them here with me right now, but I'll show you sometime soon.
I spent my entire weekend sitting in chairs because we want chairs for the studio.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
I need to send you the chair report.
Sweet. Yeah, I'd love the chair report.
Everything that could also work and not kill our backs for long streams is way more expensive and would not be cat proof.
That's furniture. I was thinking about getting one of those like Giga throws.
I was thinking that thought occurred to me, and I'm like, well, you're the one in charge of it, and I don't want to give you chores.
Yeah, but I mean, this office is this is a workspace. If I just like get the weighted blanket out every time and put it over.
I know.
It.
Yeah, I was trying to think of it because like we should probably spend like a decent amount of money so that we can also just use them for longer streams.
And if it's real leather, then it's already kind of cat proof. But yeah, no,
real leather is like you could make an argument it's worse because cats will put pock marks in it. They will just straight up stab through.
No, like hide, like serious leather. Like my ferrets, they bored through the cushioning, but they had scratches in them obviously, but they didn't pop it because you couldn't reach the seams because it was just pure.
I've never been in a home even with nice leather with a cat that wasn't very noticeable.
Yeah, he's an old man, but he's still, he has his territory. So we'll talk about this later.
Okay. All right, fine. This is public planning apparently. Fingleberries, super. I think it's a mixture of both. We don't really keep around the boring bad stuff, just the good stuff and the entertaining bad stuff. Wait, what? Sorry, what was this in reference to? This wasn't that far back ago. What were we talking about?
Fingleberries. Oh God, help us out. It's a mixture of both. It's not the chairs. It wasn't about the chairs at the time.
It was definitely not about the chairs. It was 100% not about the chairs. Although now people are cheering for more
anime.
About the chair
Okay.
Reporting. Oh, anime. Oh, gotcha.
Oh, being young and thinking about animes.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, there's plenty of bad interpretations too that should just be lost to time.
Yeah, that's interpreting any sort of fiction, and it's also just kind of a gut check on whether someone is okay in the head or not. Like, it's like how if you like Rick Sanchez a little too much, I probably don't want to hang out with you.
Yeah.
I like Rick and Morty.
Yeah, there's like an idolizing that can happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was honestly impressed by my Metroidvania exploration. It made me coin the phrase. What was it? Shit, I forgot it now.
It was not anime, it's a single bear. Well, damn. Well, what was it? Good. Good or nostalgia.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, which I think I did apply a little bit to anime, which kind of sidetracked me there. But yes, yeah. Like, is it actually good or is it just nostalgia? But essentially, does it hold up?
Yeah, because you can have something that is insanely good that is overhyped, and vice versa.
Yep, totally. Like apparently Dune for you. Like, I don't think you're arguing that the new Dune movies are bad. I think you just don't really care for them.
Yeah, I think they're well done cinematic pieces.
Yeah. Oh God, we got a pup date. Sleeping soundly, comfortably, after keeping me up all night because of his squeaky ball kept getting stuck under the bed. Oh no.
We have a strict no squeaky toys in the bedroom rule.
Yeah, I got a new alarm clock, and the number was a little too bright last night.
It didn't work because. Oh no! Oh yeah, I cannot have a clock in the room. No, clocks are not allowed. Anything illuminated is not allowed in the room.
Yeah, you turn that down.
Phone stays on do not disturb until 8 a.m. so that it can't wake itself up and glow. So yeah. Evan, one more super for the road. Neither TV shows had Metal Sonic, as far as I know.
What?
Damn.
What was the one? Was it Sonic X? Was the serious one?
No, I think it was just Sonic the Animated Series.
That was the cartoony one.
Nope. That was The Adventures of Sonic.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
Sonic X was a more modern show, I believe. It's not
Yeah.
like that wasn't the 90s, either of the 90s cartoons.
Yeah, this information is actually kind of hard to find because there's so many versions of Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic X was significantly after the OVA. Yeah. Sonic X was the anime. Okay.
Okay. God, go
What if I
fast.
find out that Adventures of Sonic were shopped out to Japan? Does that make it an anime?
Wait, that did happen though.
I will leave you with that to argue about, everybody.
It was Sonic
The age-old debate.
Sonic Underground. They had to animate in extra fingers. That was a thing.
Animate an extra. Oh.
Yeah, there was a Sonic series, and he had 4 fingers like we do in America because, you know, we don't want to draw the extra finger. But they had to animate extra fingers in for some reason.
Well, in Japan,
'Cause the
missing fingers have crime connotations.
exactly. So they had to like re-edit it in. This was a whole thing that happened. But I don't.
It's like painting out Henry Cavill's mustache for Justice League.
Yeah. Well, but the worst part was that face he was made. It was the mustache, man. It was that face he made. That was the issue.
What? You're talking about the...
Yeah, that was the issue.
Just the toothy...
Even they couldn't fix that face.
Listen, he shot 2 movies at that time, and one of them is great, and you should go watch it, and the other is Justice League.
And on that thought, we leave you for today. If you hang out here, you will be redirected to tomorrow's stream. Please join us for MSQ tomorrow, 7.3, happening in 2 parts. So please join us. Otherwise, more Final Fantasy 3 on Thursday. We're going to go post this podcast. I got a kiddo to pick up from kindergarten. Bye, everybody.
Bye!